After stumbling last week against Charleston, the Rowdies look to get back on track tonight, hosting the Richmond Kickers. Georgie Ristoff has scored in all 4 games here at Al Lang this season. Can he make it 5 in a row? It's the Rowdies versus Richmond tonight in St. Petersburg, and your live Rowdies pregame show starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay. We're coming to you from the concourse of Al Lang Stadium in downtown St. Petersburg as the Rowdies get set to host the Richmond Kickers. I'm your host, Heather Donnelly, and joining me here at the desk is color commentator Lee Godfrey. We'll also check in with Rowdies play-by-play man Mike Pepper a little bit later in the show. Lee, the Rowdies are on a 3-game winless streak, and tonight is a great chance to break that.
Yeah, it is. You know, they had such a great start here at home, going 3-0, and then now not winning in 3 games. We're going to see some changes in the starting 11, offensively and defensively. We'll see if it's enough to get the Rowdies back to their winning ways.
Well, let's start off today's show with a few Rowdies news and notes.
All right, well, Nico Campbell is now available for selection because Tamika McCandawiri receives his green card, so that opens up an international spot, rather, for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Georgie Ristoff, 2 appearances away from an all-time record, will pass 120. He is on the bench tonight, so if he gets one step closer, it will be coming off the bench for Stuart Campbell's side.
And after spending some time at the top spot at the start of the season in the standings, the Rowdies have fallen a little bit, but are still in great shape here in week 6.
Yeah, they have. You see them there sitting in 4th place on 10 points. But look at the games played. That's one thing I'm going to see as a bit of a concern as they move forward. They played 6 games. Look at the top 2 teams in the league in Charleston and Louisville, each with 5 games played, so they do have an important game in hand.
And now a look at tonight's injury report. Just one player out for the Rowdies, Luke Bowden, not available tonight due to illness.
Yeah, he's been feeling a little bit under the weather this week. He did train a little bit on Friday morning, but Stuart Campbell went over and asked him. Of course, Luke Bowden said he wanted to go. He's ready, but he had to take one for the team. He's resting this weekend, and we'll see Marcel Schaefer go to that left back position.
Well, now let's check in with play-by-play announcer Mike Pepper, who's standing by with Rowdies head coach Stuart Campbell. Mike?
Thanks, Heather. And Coach, the team has played pretty well. Unfortunately, the results haven't gone your way over the last 3 games. I guess the question is what do you have to do tonight to get the results going back your way?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, more of the same. As you said, it was a tough week for us. Disappointed to lose at home last week from a pretty decent performance, but that's life. It happens. We've got to dust ourselves down and come out tonight and show a real positive reaction in front of our fans and go and get the 3 points.
Richmond, a little bit of a different test than what you've seen. They're a little bit, maybe a little larger size. They haven't scored a lot, but they haven't conceded a lot either.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, they don't give up many chances, let alone many goals. So we're going to have to be our very best up front. And at times in the game, we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to move the ball quickly, move it simply at times to open them up and make them work on a big pitch for us.
You kind of alluded to it, but again, you know, we want to talk about the Al Lang home field advantage. And just real quick, kind of with that crowd going, what can it do for your squad?
Yeah, I said before sort of the start of the season, we want to turn this place into a fortress, and we did for the first 3 games. And as I said, although the result didn't go our way last Saturday, the performance, the chances created, the goal scored was pretty impressive. So we want to continue that again. And like you said, we want to get back to winning ways, especially at home and in front of our fans. Who the fans they were great last week. They kept driving the guys on, and just unfortunately we couldn't get the result for them. But we'll be doing everything within our power tonight to go out there and get the win.
Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Heather, Lee, back to you.
Thanks, Mike. Earlier this week, we also caught up with midfielder Leo Fernandez and forward Georgie Ristoff, who shared their thoughts on bouncing back tonight against Richmond.
I think things like this are going to happen in the season, you know. I mean, you're not going to go undefeated. You hope to go undefeated, but, you know, it's rare that some team goes undefeated. But, yeah, we're excited to get back out there and, you know, get 3 points.
In soccer, even the biggest clubs in the world would face this, tough, I would call a minor crisis and all that. It's totally normal. You can win all the games in the season. It's it's a good test for us now to see and come back with a win on Saturday.
Bad performances are going to happen. We try to avoid them, but I think we don't want to peak too early because we're a great team and we know what our overall goal is.
There's no doubt in me that we're gonna do well this year, better than last year's, and I can't wait. Looking forward, the next games to show and prove what the team we have right now.
We're not going to switch anything up. We're going to try to keep the ball, move them side to side, and when we get a chance, hopefully we bury it and try not to concede any goals.
Well, I like what Georgie Ristov had to say there, calling this 3-game winless streak a mini crisis. Emphasis on mini. Not that big of a deal. It's still really early on in the season.
Yeah, it is, and Leo Fernandez there as well, talking about strategy and how to play here at Al Lang, moving them from side to side and then trying to get your chances and be patient. But I do think that the teams coming into Al Lang Stadium also know how to defend the Tampa Bay Rowdies now, and they will be happy to concede possession most of the game to this Tampa Bay Rowdies side, put bodies behind the ball, and just defend the 18-yard box. So the Rowdies really need to put more pressure, more chances into that 18 throughout the entire match, as opposed to passing it around a lot around the top of the 18 and not getting those scoring chances, because the other teams like Charleston really took advantage on the counterattack and on free kick opportunities to be able to beat the Rowdies here late at home last Saturday. So I'd love to see the Rowdies go at them quick, get a lot of opportunities early, and first and foremost get that first goal.
And like we talked about earlier, Luke Bowden out tonight, so Marcel Schaefer sliding into that left back position. What effect do you expect that to have tonight?
He's fine for that because he's just got so much experience that he can move from that midfield and then back to that left back position. So I don't think you'll see any difference in the Rowdies' approach tonight with him there.
Well, we have to take our first break, but when we come back, we'll look back at what happened here last Saturday night against Charleston. You're watching the Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay.
If you're new in town and working on your dreams and you don't know what you need, we got the perfect plan for you. My Blue, we are here for you, for you, for you. We're Florida Blue. Don't you worry now, 'cause you don't have to. Here we always say we got you. We are here for you. This is your home, Florida Blue.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
Welcome back to your Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay. We are coming to you from Al Lang Stadium as the Rowdies and Richmond Kickers warm up ahead of tonight's match. Last Saturday, the Rowdies took on the Charleston Battery, who are arguably one of the best teams in the league. Joe Cole and Georgie Ristov scored in that match for Tampa Bay, but the 2 goals weren't enough to claim the victory, and Charleston went home with a 3-2 win. We're going to take a closer look at that game and find out just what went wrong for the Rowdies in that match. And right now, Mike Pepper joins us from the broadcast booth with the highlights. Mike?
Thanks, Heather. And, it was a game that early on, the Rowdies actually controlled the play, but it was not until the 34th minute when the Rowdies were able to get onto the scoreboard as they were able to find the back of the net. And it was the corner kick, and Georgi Ristov, who eventually came down, his shot finds Joe Cole in front, who's standing alone. His shot initially saved, but the rebound came out, and he puts it into the net. There's the touch, and then he takes the second one and gives the Rowdies the 1-0 lead in the 34th minute. But it was on to the 39th, and Kyle Porter, it takes down the Charleston player. The ensuing free kick sent into the box, and Forrest Lasso, they say he got a touch off the head. Justin Portillo sent it in, didn't matter. Battery tie it up at 1, and it wasn't long after that, and it was stoppage time, and Michael Chang took one with his left foot and found the bottom corner, a laser from distance, and that gave Charleston the halftime lead at 2-1. Now to the second half, and the Rowdies looking for an opportunity. They get the free kick, and it goes into the box, and Odisnell Cooper just misplays that one poorly, and Georgi Ristov does what he's done in every home game so far this year, scoring a goal, and the Rowdies were able to tie it up 2-2. You see Georgi Ristov able to get the gift, and he takes the volley and puts it in. But the Rowdies pressing forward, made a couple of changes, but it was Charleston who got the throw in. And then the ball sent across, it's still free. Charleston gets off a good shot. Pickens able to make the save. Ball's there. Luke Bowden not able to clear it out. And Tom Bryant Anunga, he gets the free ball about 12 yards out, and he takes it there, and the game winner for the Charleston Battery. It gave them a 3-2 lead at what is currently first place here in the USL standings, and the Rowdies were dealt their first home loss of the year. And again tonight, looking to rebound, but it wasn't a case of a poor performance. It was just a poor result, though, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. And Lee, tough one for the Rowdies last Saturday. They showed that they can score on set pieces, but they also conceded there on a set piece. Those were huge in that game.
Yeah, it was. But what I do like is at the end of the game that Stuart Campbell really took off Kyle Porter as a defender and brought on another forward. So he really threw caution to the wind. He took the gamble. He put on forwards. He didn't want to settle for 1 point. He wanted the full 3, and he said that's kind of on him. But I don't mind a coach taking that gamble whatsoever to prove that you really want to win your home games.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, have you ever seen one of the Rowdies and thought they looked like someone famous, maybe a movie star or another athlete? Well, we asked the team to tell us if they or their teammates have a celebrity lookalike, and the results were pretty hilarious. Take a look.
My friends used to say I looked like a Lego figure, just like the basic Lego figure. So.
I was going to say Brad Pitt, but you clearly know I'm joking.
I'm not trying to be all cocky or anything, but people tell me Usher. I hope that's true.
Darnell, he has like a Mickey Mouse look, kind of.
A lot of my friends in Bulgaria, they think I look like Jim Carrey.
I don't know. I think I've always looked after Beckham. I think when I was younger, I wanted to see if I could get the same haircuts and stuff like that.
Martin Wingard looks nothing like David Beckham.
God, there was a singer in England, yeah, who I used to get. I literally got mistaken for him. What's his name? Shane Ward, I think, years ago. He's like one of these X Factor type guys with a shave. When I shaved my head, yeah, been mistaken for him a few times.
I'm gonna go Orlando Bloom, maybe.
I actually have 2. So one of them is actually the man, Lionel Messi. I've been called Lionel Messi from time to time, especially from the side. People look at me from the side. But no, and then the other one's actually I'm not proud of. It's the neck and mole rat from Kim Possible. Especially if I shave my head. It's really bad.
Going back to Hey Arnold, I don't know if anybody remembers Stinky, but I think Neil kind of reminds me of Stinky.
I've just been told it's Ben Affleck, so I'll go with that. I'll take that, to be fair.
Jason Statham. But now I've got hair and I don't have a beard, so it's not going to work.
My mom, and this is very important to me, my mom thinks I look like Gerard Piqué from Barcelona, so just because I'm growing out the hair.
Damien Lowe looks like the Pepperami Man. It was a snack in England. I don't know if you've ever had them over here, but the Pepperami Man, that's Damo for sure.
Big Matt Pickens could easily replace Tom Hanks in Castaway.
When I was in St. Louis eating dinner one time, someone came up and asked me if I was Alex Pietrangelo, who's the captain for the Blues.
Oh, somebody told me that I look like, I can't think of his name. He's a famous snooker player. I'll have to look up his name. I can look it up for you, actually.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is his name, and I can show you a quick picture.
Yeah, Michael Nanchoff does a good Pete the Pelican. You know, I think his nose is about the same size.
A group of rowdies stopped by Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital this week to spend some time with the patients there. When we come back, we'll take a look inside their visit. Stay with us.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we want you to eat better and feel better with smoothies made from better-for-you ingredients and food crafted with the bold flavors you love, like our Chipotle Chicken Club flatbread with grilled chicken, bacon, pepper jack, and chipotle mayo, or our Island Green Smoothie with fresh kale and spinach, banana, mango, and pineapple. Life's too good to settle for anything less. Chipotle Chicken Club and Island Green Smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxyClean.
Stains on the t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxyClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxyClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxyClean in a detergent. One cap beats 4 of theirs. OxyClean gets the tough stains out.
Welcome back to your Rowdies pregame show live on This TV Tampa Bay. We're coming to you from the concourse of Al Lang Stadium as the Rowdies get set to host the Richmond Kickers. And it's going to be a hot one tonight here in St. Petersburg. Record high temperatures in the Tampa Bay area today. At kickoff, it's going to be 90 degrees and partly cloudy. A very warm one for the players tonight. We'll see how they can handle those adverse weather conditions tonight. On Thursday, Akira Fitzgerald, Kyle Porter, and Martin Vingard stopped by Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital to help spread some cheer to the patients and their families. Here's a look inside their visit.
We came to the hospital just to see the young kids going through some tough times in their lives, and we just came here to, brighten up their day and make sure we can get a smile out of them.
Playing some pool on there? Yeah. Nice, any good? Yeah? I like real pool. My mother passed away from cancer, so I've been in this kind of situation before, and then I just kind of imagining kids in this situation is, I can't even imagine what they go through, the strength that they have, and then what their parents are going through as well, trying to take care of them and comfort them. So just being able, the idea to be able to come here and just, brighten their day for a couple minutes is, is an unbelievable feeling.
Seeing them smile and be happy and break out of their shell is always a great opportunity and great moment for us.
Yeah, you guys like soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nice. Who's your favorite team?
We like Barcelona.
Okay, nice. Being able to also give back, because some of these kids, they look up to us, they love sports, they love soccer, and getting to meet a soccer player is cool for them. And just to think that could brighten someone's day when I get to do something I love, just, it's an easy thing to do for us, and it's really a no-brainer for me that, get to give something back to these kids and being in this community as well. Being able to give back is a privilege. There's definitely some kids that were big soccer fans, some that, didn't like sports at all, but all of them are great to spend time with and talk to and just kind of, just kind of talk to them and see what they like to do, try to get them out of their shell a little bit and just have some conversations with them and something different for them. Being in this environment, like I said, can get tiring, and same thing every day. So just kind of cheering them up and just talking to them was a lot of fun.
A lot of people don't know, but the biggest part of being an athlete is giving back, and once again, to make a kid smile it brightens up my day, and it brightens their day, and we want to see kids smiling, so that's very important.
To think that we get to play soccer for a living, and then part of our job is just coming to see these kids is just again, it's just a huge privilege, and I'm just so thankful that we can do something like this.
Say thank you, guys. Say good luck with everything.
Good stuff there. Always great to see the Rowdies getting out in the community and doing some good for the community. For more features like the one you just saw, be sure to follow the Rowdies on the different social media platforms. You can follow on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram so you don't miss out on any Rowdies updates throughout the week. Check out rowdysoccer.com for more information on how to follow. Tonight's game is just around the corner, so when we come back, we'll take a closer look at the Richmond Kickers and show you what the Rowdies can expect in tonight's match.
got the sun, we got today, we got the sun, jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in, it's just you and me, in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
There's never been a better time to get rowdy. For a limited time, you can get 3 games for only $33 with the Rowdies Hat Trick Pack. Call 727-222-2000 or go to Ticketmaster.com/Rowdies right now and get 3 games for just $33. And see the Rowdies destroy the competition. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. And the Hat Trick Pack is only available for a limited time.
Welcome back to our Rowdies pregame show on This TV Tampa Bay. Heather Donnelly and Lee Godfrey joining you live from the concourse of Al Lang Stadium as we count down to kickoff. Tonight, the Rowdies look to bounce back from last weekend's tough loss and pick up 3 points against the Richmond Kickers. Now let's take a closer look at Richmond, a team with a lot of history.
Yeah, they do have a lot of history. They've done some amazing things in the United Soccer League. You see their record this year, though. They do have a losing record, and they've only scored 3 total goals all season long, but they don't concede a lot. And there you see they're the oldest continuous running professional soccer organization in the USA. They were also the 1995 U.S. Open Cup champions. But I would say overall, I think the Rowdies are a little bit more famous in their overall history.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, set pieces will be something to keep an eye on tonight. Last week against Pittsburgh, Richmond showed they can be dangerous on set pieces, while the Rowdies struggled to defend against them last Saturday against Charleston.
Yeah, let's go back to their game last weekend, the Richmond Kickers versus Pittsburgh. And here you see in the 46th minute, the free kick, Pittsburgh with a poor clearance and Richmond take advantage. Alhaji Kimura gets on the end of this, and you're right, Heather, the Rowdies were victims of some poor play off of set pieces last week versus Charleston, so they will want to make sure that they don't give the Kickers any sort of extra opportunities tonight.
Earlier tonight, Mike Pepper caught up with Richmond head coach Lee Cowlishaw. Let's hear what he had to say heading into tonight's match.
Thanks, Heather. And Coach, first of all, welcome into St. Petersburg here as you get ready to face the Rowdies for the first time.
Yeah, gorgeous. It's a great night for it and looking forward to the matchup.
And, well, let's look into your team here. Obviously, a little struggle scoring, but you certainly haven't conceded a lot. How do you change up and getting those opportunities tonight?
Well, we're under no illusions. It's going to be very difficult tonight with the quality of the individuals that Tampa have and the amount of possession they can keep and also the dangerous players they have. So, again, we're going to try and keep it as compact as possible, very focused on defense, but also trying to be as efficient as possible when we do have the ball, maximize our restarts and just make it as uncomfortable as possible for the Tampa team.
You talked a little bit about the experience with Tampa. I mean, that's probably something you preached to your team about there, but maybe being a little bit more patient and take advantage of opportunities tonight?
Well, the good thing is we've been working on several systems, so we'll just have to see what the lineup is. We have the ability to change formations on the fly, which will be helpful, I believe, for us. But, you know, we've emphasized defense from day one in preseason. Clearly going to need it away from home here today. But we've worked a lot, I said, on attacking restarts and also on the ability to counterattack at pace and speed. So, you know, hopefully they'll play off. It's been a good week of training. We've had a really focused week, so I'm really looking forward to the matchup.
Coach, best of luck tonight. Thanks for taking the time.
Great, thank you.
Lee, Heather, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. Now let's take a look at a couple players to watch in tonight's match. Fred Owusu-Sekiri and Deshaun Brown, both capable of scoring for their teams.
Yes, they are. And for the Richmond Kickers, you talk about Fred Owusu-Sekiri has 1 goal on the year. Only one of 3 Richmond players with a goal this season. Leads the team with 5 shots on goal. Starting 4 games this season, he led the team with 7 assists back in 2015. He has played 66 games over 3 years with the Richmond Kickers. And on the Rowdies side, Deshaun Brown making his 4th start of the year tonight for the Rowdies. The Jamaican international has 1 goal and 1 assist in 2017. Played last season in China. He also had 20 goals in 3 seasons with the Colorado Rapids, and he'll bring height and pace tonight to deal with Richmond's 2 big center backs.
Well, that wraps up tonight's pregame show. For Lee Godfrey, Mike Pepper, and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Heather Donnelly. Thank you for joining us. Rowdies versus Richmond is up next.
Got the sun, we got today. We got the sun, jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in. It's just you and me in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg. The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
Cruise ships might be making their way out of Tampa Bay, but the trolley bringing the fans down towards Al Lang Stadium for another USL matchup tonight. It is the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Richmond Kickers. Mike Pepper alongside Lee Godfrey. And Lee, when I mentioned the Rowdies and the Kickers, the Rowdies see their tradition back to the 70s with the NASL. The Richmond Kickers, 25 continuous years as a franchise.
Yeah, another storied franchise in the United Soccer League, and one that the Tampa Bay Rowdies are going to want to get a win against at Al Lang Stadium. After starting the season 3-0 and not conceding a goal, they've gone 3 without a win now. So this is the type of team that they're going to need a full 3 against, Mike, in order to stay within the top teams in the standings.
And for both the Rowdies and the Kickers, a couple of players we want to keep our eyes on tonight.
Yeah, Deshaun Brown getting a start tonight up top. 1 goal, 1 assist with the Rowdies. He's going to be providing those big center backs with Richmond a tough job tonight. And Owusu Sakiri for the Richmond Kickers has 1 goal, leads the team with 5 shots in that attacking midfield position.
Well, we have the kickoff as well as the starting lineup. They will be coming up next when we return back to Al Lang Stadium, downtown St. Petersburg. Rowdies and Kickers coming up. You're watching Rowdies Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
There's a lot to a name.
Especially when that name is a world leader in healthcare.
We still deliver the same compassion we provided for 90 years.
Plus the excellence you expect from Johns Hopkins.
Together we can conquer the biggest challenges
and offer your child the very best care.
When it comes to kids, choose Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
We got the sun. Got the sun jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in. It's just you and me in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg.
Through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And good evening. Welcome in to Al Lang Stadium. It's the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Richmond Kickers from St. Petersburg. And I guess we will take a look at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino starting lineups. I guess we will start with the Richmond Kickers here, Lee.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. A couple of changes as Connor Shanowski moves back to the midfield. Malin Roberts in that center back position. And there you see up top Kimura and Oliver for Richmond Kickers. And for the Rowdies, a lot of changes. Deshaun Brown up top. Leo Fernandez makes his start again on that left-hand side. Darwin Jones comes in on the right, and Marcel Schaefer moves back into that left back position as Justin Chavez comes into the midfield.
And down on the field, our third member of the broadcast team, Heather Donnelly. Heather?
Hi, Mike. The Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Richmond Kickers are two of the more historically significant teams in the U.S. They both have a lot of history. The Tampa Bay Rowdies were created in 1975 and went on to become an internationally recognized brand. The Kickers, as we've said, are the longest continuous running professional soccer organization in the country, with this being their 25th anniversary season. So despite these two teams having so much history, they've both never actually played each other until tonight, guys.
Thank you, Heather. And when they haven't played, but we got a couple of head coaches with a little bit of experience behind them, Lee.
Yeah, they do. And on the Richmond side, they were a part of a 1995 U.S. Open Cup victory. The Rowdies are getting ready to get into that tournament a little later on in May, as far as trying to go further than they did last year after being defeated out of the tournament by the Columbus Crew.
Yeah, and you mentioned the U.S. Open Cup. I'd be remiss because I have a couple of guys. The St. Petersburg Kickers, 1990, won that same U.S. Open tournament. And the Rowdies will have a matchup in a couple of weeks, which we'll be able to probably look at here at Al Lang Stadium. But we are just minutes away from the Richmond Kickers against the Tampa Bay Rowdies here at Al Lang. And for those familiar with Al Lang, and the Rowdies will be wearing their green and yellow hooped shorts and socks along with the green shorts. Richmond white from head to toe. Al Lang pretty much is almost a west to east field, with the Rowdies right to left on your screen being west to east. It appears the Rowdies will defend the goal towards it. It is more so a northwest, but that's the direction they'll go. And as we pointed out numerous times, as the year wears on, the sun may be a bit of an issue, but tonight does not appear to be a factor. What would be in the face of the Richmond goalkeeper at that time, but it should not be a problem. Matt Turner, who gets that start. So we're just minutes away from kickoff. I think there's another chance. And again, the two teams have at least struck as a late. Richmond did get the win, but they came off 3-1-0 losses prior to that. Rowdies looking to rebound and stop a winless streak here of the last 3 games.
Yeah, so important for the Rowdies here to have a good start tonight, Mike, because the longer this goes, we saw this with Charleston, they're able to battle back into games, get a couple of goal lead, and that will really help the Rowdies in trying to secure the full 3 points. But what's been a concern to me, Mike, is how they finished off halves in both of the previous halves against Charleston. They concede rather 2 late goals and then one basically at the death of the game for Charleston to get that winner. So switching off at inopportune times has cost them greatly, and because you heard Stuart Campbell in the pregame show talk about how they have dominated possession, but teams know they're going to come in here and be dominated by possession. That is no secret. They throw players behind the ball coming into Al Lang Stadium and then try to get numbers forward on the counterattack and hope to punish them on their limited opportunities, and that's exactly what Charleston was able to do last week.
Slight delay as Alhaji Kamara maybe had a piece of jewelry or something, had to run over to the sideline, hand it to the Richmond Kickers. Right now the referee looking at his watch. We're just about ready to get underway as Richmond will be going from left to right on your screen and kicking off as we get started here from Al Lang Stadium. And welcome to everyone watching on Estrella TV tonight as well. Good look at the officials as Elvis Osmanovic will be your center referee, along with Esteban Rosano, Walter Heatherly, and Miguel Martez, your 4th official. Neil Collins looks to go forward for the Rowdies as they got it after the throw-in on the turnover. Damian Lowe now pushes out to Darnell King. King getting the start tonight after resting, having the 3rd game in 8 days where Kyle Porter got the opportunity.
And Marcel Schaefer, I think this is going to be very interesting, playing that left back position, Mike, in for Luke Bowden. Stuart Campbell talked about a little bit of the adjustment coming over and playing in the North American game. Not only the heat and humidity of playing here in Florida, but also the travel. It's so much different. It took Joe Cole, he said that was the biggest adjustment he had to get used to, was the flights and training and dealing with different time zone last year in the North American Soccer League. Not so much in the USL playing in the Eastern Conference, but certainly the last game he did look a little bit fatigued. We didn't say his name very much as we had in previous occasions here at Al Lang. Of course, he had that cracker of a goal early in Cincinnati in that 1-1 draw.
Here is Schaefer. On with the left foot, doesn't see anything, goes back to Collins. Justin Chavez drops back, and now he'll find Joe Cole. He's got a little room to turn, but he'll play it wide to King instead. Darnell King has to go back towards his own half where he gives it to Lowe. Damian Lowe on a dangerous ball. Collins are able to get it to Vingard, and they'll work their way out of it. Chavez, though, will lose it. Vingard gets it back. Now it's Fernandez, Leo Fernandez. As Richmond will get possession, they'll look to go forward. Chip up, looking for Kamara. He doesn't get it, and the first one, too, is Schaefer.
Oh, this is what the Rowdies have been preaching as far as how they play tactically, spreading out these teams wide left to right, and then trying to get those balls into the box for goal-scoring opportunities. Deshaun Brown getting that start up top tonight because of his size and having to deal with the physical presence of the two center backs in Malin Roberts and Evan Lee of the Kickers. But it is getting those opportunities in because they don't go as much through the middle of the park as other teams do and as higher attacking teams do. We saw the speed of the Charleston battery coming up the middle and how they were successful in trying to get through the back line of the Rowdies on the occasions that they did.
Schaefer looking to go forward. Now Lowe. Lowe looking to swing it back across the field for Fernandez. He'll challenge. It will go over his head, and it will roll out. And for viewers in Tampa Bay, after the action on the field, check out all the movie action on Tampa Bay's first broadcast movie channel. This TV Tampa Bay, Digital 32.2, Spectrum 630, Frontier Fios 463, and Comcast 229. Well, throw in deep in the Richmond area, though. Looks like they'll try to send it up the field. Just get it long, see what they can do. They'll try and flip it on. They do. This ball to Chavez. Chavez pleased to space as Lowe will have to run it down. He does have plenty of time. No pressure right now. You can see the defensive posture there of the Richmond Kickers. 3 goals for, 4 goals against through that, and only 12 shots in their 5 games. Rowdies have been a little bit more offensively firepower here. Hernandez back to Schaefer. Collins under some pressure now. Kamara forces Collins to go up. He does get it upfield into Deshaun Brown. Brown looking for Chavez, will turn it over, gets it back to Owusu Sakiri. He keeps it, looking to go over the top. Onside, but it will go too far. Pickens will get it, and he'll look to distribute quickly here on the ground.
Well, that's exactly what Richmond is going to be looking for here, Mike, is forcing quick turnovers when they are off the ball and just sending someone up in a hurry on the counter-attack and try to get something going with balls over the top. And there it was just a little bit too far. Matt Pickens able to get that one, no problem.
Rowdies looking to go forward. Control possession through the 5th minute. That one's going to go off of Troyer. It'll be a throw in for the Rowdies. Headed down, now it's going to go over. It's got a little bit of space for Kamara. Kamara on the far sideline, looking to cut inside. Lowe will slow him down. He doesn't have a lot of help and has to give it back and under some pressure from the Rowdies. That is Owusu Sakiri. He'll lose it to King. The Rowdies will use their goalkeeper Pickens. Pickens will have to sit it upfield as he gets a little pressure from McCann.
Watch those kickers coming forward, Mike. Really, you know, playing with one main striker in Kamara, but Owusu Sakiri on that left-hand side. He'll come up forward as well on the right-hand side. Oliver, he led the Ottawa Fury in goals with 7 in 2014, was a big part of their team in 2015, in which the Fury won that NASL fall season.
Wide for King. Inside, Cole. Cole drops it for King. King into the box. Will play off the Richmond Kickers and now come out Sakiri. Cuts inside. He's clipped by King. Free kick. And the USL is one of the most prominent 2nd division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow the league on Twitter at USL. Back as Malin Roberts will look forward. Troyer pokes it, but it will be Vingard that gets up for the Rowdies. Who'll look to quickly switch it to Schaefer. Schaefer will go at the defender, looking to whip it into the box. He's got Brown to the chest of Brown. Brown can't control. He does get a shot. It's blocked, and now it's taken out wide by the kickers. Marcel Schaefer saw Deshaun Brown, and that was a pinpoint ball. Just could not do anything with it once he got it to his feet.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Deshaun Brown. Good positioning there by the center backs. A good block.
Well, here's Schaefer again. He'll whip this one in on the ground. Cleared out by the kickers. Now sent out to midfield. Lowe in a foot race, and Lowe goes over the top of Kamara. And you can see a replay.
Yeah, Marcel Schaefer with the ball in, like you said, perfectly placed ball in between the two center backs. It gets down for Deshaun Brown, but then it is blocked. A good block there.
First touch just kind of let him down. It just almost looked like he was surprised he got over the defender.
Yeah, it was Janowski getting his body in front of that one, the captain of this team.
Alex Lee will find Evan Lee. They play next to each other on the back line for Richmond. Malin Roberts.
Remember Malin Roberts' name last year. He was in the NASL with FC Edmonton. He was actually born in Sierra Leone, but became a Canadian citizen and took part in 2015 World Cup qualifier for Canada. Made his debut in one of those qualifiers against Dominica.
On the left foot, trying to find, that was Alex Lee looking for Oliver. That will be off of Schaefer. It'll be a throw in for the kickers. They'll take this opportunity to bring a couple of big bodies. Can we expect a long throw? And those two central defenders that Stuart Campbell talked about, a lot of size for Richmond, are parked inside the box. All that aside, they drop it down quickly for Owusu Sakiri, who will send it into the box. It's headed down by Collins, free for the kickers. Out top, Evan Lee now finds the open Alex Lee. Into the box, over the top. It will be a goal kick. The latest USL news is on Sirius XM FC. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 85. Sirius XM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Good look at Matt Pickens. Rowdy starter last year, every game. This year missed the first three because of a neck injury sustained in a preseason game against Montreal. But re-entered the starting lineup when Akira Fitzgerald tweaked a hamstring on the road.
Akira Fitzgerald doing well in that home game here against the Ottawa Fury before they went on that two-game road trip, making three crucial stops in that first 45 minutes of play to keep the Rowdies in the game, who eventually fought their way back and earned a 1-0 lead with a Georgie Ristoff goal.
Handball will be called on Samuel Asante. Damian Lowe looking forward, and the Rowdies looking to where they can penetrate the Richmond defense. It's Fernandez into Brown. He'll bring it down. He'll find Cole, Joe Cole. On the left foot, will send it across. It's at the feet of Fernandez and now cleared away by Richmond. An opportunity here for them. Owusu Sakiri, and offside is Kamara. Rowdy's able to hold the line and step it up.
Very close there, but you see the danger on the counterattack from Richmond, and that's really what they're going to look for most of the night, Mike. And one of these times, you know, they might get that opportunity and connect, and that flag might stay down.
Schaefer. On the left foot, that's going to deflect, and it's cleared away by Richmond. Lingard has time to bring it down. He does. Sending it across the field to Darnell King. King off the chest, off the foot, into the box. Sent across, flipped on, and on the back post, and sent over the line by Richmond. A dangerous ball by the Rowdies will result in a U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
That's what I like to see, Mike. Darnell King, couple touches on the ball and just sends it in there, and then you see what transpires after the fact. You've got Richmond running around and just have to clear it out for the corner kick.
Darwin Jones deflected it up, and Brown couldn't get there, and well played by the defense to send it out. Referee will have some words with some shoving going on in the goal box. Joe Cole involved there. Looks like perhaps with Shinoski. Schaefer on the outswinger sends it into the box, headed down and blocked. It looked like Jones got to it, or maybe it was Deshaun Brown or Justin Chavez, excuse me. Long ball looking for Cole over his head. Controlled now by Asante. He'll have room to turn. Takes it across the field. Troyer. Collins read that well, and he'll use his keeper, Pickens. Off the kickers, off Mellon Roberts, and over the Rowdies bench. It'll be a throwaway. Another look at the U.S. Ameribank corner kick, and you can see that is Chavez, and it does go off the head of one of the Richmond kickers and sit back into traffic.
Yeah, and you watch Deshaun Brown there. Connor Shinowski had his arms wrapped around him and brought him down, and you saw Deshaun Brown putting his arms up, asking for a penalty kick.
Schaefer now for the Rowdies. Chavez. Collins now wide to King. Chavez is not able to find a hole yet, doing it side to side, making the defense work. And Collins. Fernandez. Chavez into Cole. The flip on. It will almost get deflected by Deshaun Brown, but Matt Turner is there to collect it before Brown can get there.
Well, once again, Mike, we have seen that possession dominance by the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but by some good blocks and some clearances by the Richmond kickers. Turner really hasn't had to make a save yet tonight. Despite the opportunities created by the Rowdies, they haven't got a clear shot on goal so far in the first 15 minutes of play.
Over the top and offside as the flag comes up. Let's check in with Heather Donnelly down on the sideline.
Hi, Mike. Yesterday we spoke with Richmond head coach Lee Cowlishaw about the Rowdies and how much they hold possession, and he says he knows they're not going to win the possession battle against Tampa Bay, but when they do have the ball, they need to maximize their efficiency. So far in the first 15 minutes, they haven't really done much of that. A couple offsides, a couple turnovers, and not a lot on offense, so they haven't really been maximizing their efficiency when they do have the ball, guys.
Not a lot of teams are going to win the possession battle against the Rowdies, but again, as we found out last week, it's what's on that last line. As Charleston didn't, but they still got the win. But right now, the Rowdies are creating a little bit of chance of going forward. Chavez looking for Fernandez, and it'll be over his outstretched run, and it will be a goal kick.
I like what Leo Fernandez does bring to the game. We saw in that home stretch, first couple of the games, him running into the box, going 1v1 and attacking players and creating something really out of nothing. And it did create a foul and a penalty kick for the Rowdies, which they capitalized on. So I like that part of it too, Mike, not just putting the balls in wide from the sides, but also taking the ball in and challenging defenders 1v1 and seeing what you can create out of that.
As we pointed out, Rowdies will be in control of the graphic you see there on the screen. 2/3 of the possession to this point. Here's King. Cutting it back to Chavez. Justin Chavez looking forward. He'll sing it over to Collins. Square ball. Collins' pass for Fernandez taken away, and look forward for Kamara. Kamara's in a race, and there's two Rowdies. It's Vingard, it's low, and it's Kamara getting whistled for the foul. They'll play it quickly. They'll say the ball is rolling, so then they'll stop it, and now they'll play it quick.
Good job there by Lowe to come across, because I do think that Martin Vingard might have got caught on the wrong side of the ball, and Kamara may have won that battle, but the speed of Lowe coming across and winning that challenge, and you see that he may have got a little piece of the foot of Kamara as he's still down on his knees, just getting up now and trying to walk off something. So that might be some bad news for the Richmond Kickers moving forward.
Still in his half as Collins has it. Kickers are pointing at their forward, who's just in a kneeling position, but now as the Rowdies are going forward, it's almost a little late to do it. Now they see it, they'll just send it wide. Darwin Jones. And as Richmond will just send it over the line, it will be a throw in for the Rowdies, but it will be something that was played out of bounds. You can see there is Kamara.
Yeah, this is on that last play with Lowe coming over. Watch this. Right in there, he gets his foot and leg caught up, so I'm not sure if he pulled something or extended something as he got in between Martin Vingard.
Looks like he's pointing at his quad.
Yeah, it might have been something that was a pull. Looks like he extended something there when he put his leg forward to try to win the ball.
See Kamara wearing 45 on his jersey, 42 on his shorts. Maybe a knee in the back here as he's asking the trainer. It just seemed to be a little uncomfortable, maybe having a little difficulty catching a breath. Maybe a.
And you can see the coach there giving the thumbs up or thumbs down. Do they have to make a substitution early in this match? And by how Kamara is walking off the pitch to the opposite side of the field, I'm going to assume that he's going to be all right and looking to get way back onto the pitch.
Well, this is played out by Richmond. It's an interesting thing here. They did obviously play it out, but there was running into traffic with 3 defenders. But I would expect the Rowdies will still throw it into him. I don't think that Owusu Security had any opportunity for possession, but they do. The Rowdies send it back and will begin play through Matt Turner, the feet of the goalkeeper for Richmond.
Yep, fair play to the Rowdies. I always like to see that. I've seen on 1 or 2 occasions where it hasn't gone that way, and it's not a written law, it's an unwritten law, but the teams that take advantage of it, I always don't think very highly of in the day and age of where sportsmanship, I think, means anything and everything.
For viewers in Tampa Bay, catch the Rowdies at home all season on This TV Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay's first broadcast movie channel. Find This TV at Digital 32.2, Spectrum 630, Frontier Fios 462, and Comcast 229. This TV, your broadcast home for Rowdy soccer. And also, welcome to those watching on Estrella TV. As Joe Cole has an opportunity. Schaefer on the overlap. Back to Cole. Chavez will get it back out wide to Schaefer.
Chavez had a good 7-8 yards with nobody ahead of him there in the middle of the park. Like to see him turn and try to have a go at goal.
Continue on as it looked like Fernandez wanted a foul, didn't get it. The overlap is Alex Lee now. Lee will send it in. Damian Lowe will head it out. Vingard will control it.
No one closing down Martin Vingard. Good on him. Just keep going up the pitch until someone closes you down. You had to wait till the Rowdies got back into position in their wide positions.
King towards the corner. He'll still whip it in near post though. Turner will catch that. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. As Asante in the middle, now sending it, looking for Shinoski as a tackle in order to maintain possession. McCann looking for Owusu Sakiri. Owusu Sakiri with a nice through ball to Kamara. Kamara, though, is run off the ball by Damian Lowe, and Kamara goes through Damian Lowe, and the Rowdies will have a free kick. And right now, it looks like Kamara is getting a little talking to, because that may be his third or fourth foul that he's talking about.
Well, I think he's questioning the fact that Lowe really was shielding off the ball, and all he was trying to do was get to it. Watch here as he's being shielded off, and I don't think there's much to that, the way that Lowe fell over, and then Lowe's just trying to stay on his feet. So I really didn't see much there in Kamara actually fouling Lowe. It was really Lowe trying to block off the ball and really tripping over his own feet there. So I think that was the question. What did I do wrong?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I can't see maybe the feet tangled up, but I didn't think that was anything worth a discussion at all. I mean, I know it's 2 or 3 similar fouls, but they're not really physical fouls at that point. They're just aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think he went in there with any intent to foul. He was trying to play the ball, and to me, that's a 50-50 there. So the ball ends up going out for a goal kick. It would have gone out for a goal kick either way. But he said the foul's against him, so he was questioning that.
This time he's offside.
And that's the third time I think that the kickers have gone offside. So you obviously see their plan of attack, and it really goes through Samuel Asante in that attacking midfield, just trying to shoot balls through the channels of the Rowdies' defense and trying to time it perfectly and keep that flag down to give the kickers an opportunity.
24th minute here at Al Lang Stadium. Scoreless between the Rowdies and the Richmond Kickers. And it has been a defensive shell of Richmond. That's been the story so far. They've sat back. Rowdies have created a chance or two, but not able to test Turner just yet. Here's Vingard. They go at the defense a little bit and get it out tied to Fernandez. Fernandez does have help behind him. Bad ball by Fernandez. Richmond had numbers going forward, but ball rolls behind Asante, so they'll just keep possession. Into McCann. Asante will lose it. Darwin Jones. Jones looking for Schaefer. Schaefer on the inside round. He's a little better position than Alex Lee. He'll send it onto the back post. It's over everyone. Run down by Fernandez. King now. Darnell King to the line. He'll send it back across, and it's cleared out by Malin Roberts for a throw-in. King will throw it back towards Chavez. Chavez has Vingard. The Rowdies will look to switch the field. Looks like Richmond really has kind of dropped Shinoski into another defender, almost like they're playing with 5 defenders tonight. It's into Brown. Brown off that touch, and it's cleared away by Richmond. Schaefer. Cole will get whistled for the foul. I think we have looked at Richmond dropping Shinoski in, kind of playing in between Malin Roberts and Evan Lee, almost a 5th defender. When the Rowdies have the ball, he'll move up into that holding midfielder as long as Richmond has it, but
Yeah, and I think they're happy with that, Mike, to go 5 at the back across, keep the Rowdies wide, and really try to have enough players and white bodies in the box to clear anything that they're putting in from those wide positions.
They'll try and slide it through for Brown, but Evan Lee will run it down. He'll send it over the line, running back towards his own goal, and it will be a U.S. Ameribank corner kick. So the U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Rowdies. As Schaefer will run up towards the corner. See Joe Cole tied up with McCann. Lee in the box. That ball does not clear Kamara. Tackle by Vingard sends it back towards the corner. Jones is in a foot race, but he won't be able to get to it. It will go out for the goal kick. And for viewers in Tampa Bay, this TV has your chance to win a PS4 Pro Console and a copy of FIFA 2017. Plus a special autographed item from the Rowdies. Watch Rowdies home games on this TV and look for the clue. Go to MOR-TV.com for more information. That's MOR-TV.com.
Well, Mike, we've seen a tactical change now by Stuart Campbell as Darwin Jones has moved over to that left-hand side and switched with Leo Fernandez. So Fernandez, the former product of the Philadelphia Union, who was loaned out to Harrisburg and scoring goals with the Cosmos as well back in 2015, switches spots to the former Seattle Sounder product, Darwin Jones.
All right, Richmond kind of did the same thing with the Owusu Security and Oliver. Switching sides as Owusu Security is now on the right side for Richmond. But right now it is the Rowdies and Darwin Jones who has it. Darwin Jones on the left foot. That's going to go past everyone over the top. It'll be a throw in, but it will be right by the corner flag, and the Rowdies will see what they choose to pinch the pressure in and maybe force a turnover off this throw in.
Well, Malin Roberts over to take this throw in. What a great story it's been for him, coming over from Sierra Leone and earning his citizenship, living up in Edmonton, playing some time for FC Edmonton.
Foul throw.
But also going to NAIT, which is the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, and still getting found and someone seeing talent in him. If you're a soccer player playing collegiately in Northern Alberta, you'd be playing normally for the University of Alberta Golden Bears.
Ball whipped in, it's going to bounce free. Darwin Jones will take a left foot shot. It's going to go back towards the spot, and now it's cleared away by Richmond. Darnell King with a little space. He'll try to get to the line. He does get it in, but he does not clear Malin Roberts. It will come down to Leo Fernandez. Leo Fernandez on the left foot. He's going to send it back across. Darwin Jones coming inside, and he sent it outside. Now it's a turnover. Lucky to get it back away with it is Security. Owusu Security. And he'll win it back. Now he'll go forward and attack. He'll look to slot the ball, and instead Collins will step in front.
Good job to get the ball back, but I'd like to see Leo Fernandez just on the top of that 18-yard box to try to have a go at goal.
That one sent out. Now Marcel Schaefer.
Saw Charleston highly successful making that cut in on that right-hand side at the top of the box and scoring goals last Saturday. I think the Rowdies need to test Turner here soon enough. We've played 30 minutes of this first half, and still Turner has not had to make a stop. And with that said, Matt Pickens haven't had much to do either, but that's to be more expected.
There's Owusu Security. Looking on down the line, Marcel Schaefer will run Lee off the ball, off Alex Lee. And the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow the league on Twitter @USL. Fernandez and King working together now on the side, and the Rowdies again with possession. Richmond content to work back and forth, not giving them a lot of opportunities inside. Here's Chavez into Cole. Cole, it's stepped in front by Evan Lee, and it's sent out. Now Cole again. Joe Cole works with Deshaun Brown. The ball too far for Cole, and it will go out for a goal kick.
A little bit too heavy on that, but I do like the idea, Mike, of going through the middle and trying to connect with the nice little 1-2 to get around the stingy back four of the Richmond Kickers. Joe Cole there, 2 goals on the season so far for the Rowdies.
Matt Turner looks to send this goal kick long. You can see the shots. Tampa Bay with 3, but none on net. The off of Richmond. Throw in will go for the Rowdies. Schaefer into Brown. Brown will have the free kick from behind the play. Referee was looking to see the advantage, but Deshaun Brown and some cleats come in on him, and his touch for Chavez a little far. No advantage given, so the free kick goes Tampa Bay's way.
Mike, another thing you're going to see less of by staying outside and just knocking those balls in is this sort of thing, is fouls. If you're driving into the box and trying to go through the middle with the ball on the ground, chances are that team off the ball is going to have to come in, make a tackle, and possibly get that foul, draw free kicks in good goal scoring opportunities. That's one thing we haven't seen the Rowdies get too much of in the last few games, is those balls, free kicks just outside the box in that 25-yard range.
Vengard plays the 1-2 off the midsection of Asante. He ends up getting it back, and now it's out to King. Fernandez sends it into the area. Deshaun Brown gets a head on it, and it will be another U.S. Ameribank corner kick. And while Schaefer runs over for it, let's hear from Heather Donnelly down on the sideline.
Mike, Rowdies head coach Stuart Campbell's main message to his team so far this half is to get the ball out wide. He told us yesterday that if the kickers are going to sit back and play defense, the best way to go up against that is to keep moving the ball. So he really wants them to spread out and have a lot of ball movement, guys.
Well, Schaefer's corner kick is not clear the front man again, and now Deshaun Brown behind the play, or make that Damian Lowe behind the play. Got into Brian McCann, or excuse me, Patty McCann.
Well, just to add to Heather's point there, as you see Lowe get in there on McCann. To add to that point, if that's what you want to do is get that ball wide, you have to have your other players off the ball, Mike, making those runs into the box. You have to be able to have that wide player, whether it's Marcel Schaefer or on the other side Darnell King. They have to see those players making the runs into the box and get them that ball. If the people inside in that 6 or inside that 18 are standing still, it makes it very difficult to send a ball in and to try to get one of the Rowdies on the end of it.
Patty McCann is okay. Did get the cleats from Lowe into the shin. On ball sent by Turner. They're looking for Kamara. Out wide to Owusu Sakiri.
Sakiri and Oliver have once again switched sides on the pitch for the Richmond Kickers.
Another header won by Collins. Second ball, though, comes to Richmond.
Good step up there by Damian Lowe.
Turnover there for the Rowdies. Deshaun Brown will have it, but again, 5 white jerseys back. Rowdies will have to go forward. They'll do it with Jones this time. He'll send it in the box, but there's no one there. It's sent out, and it will be a throw-in.
Yeah, they really only have Kamara up top now, and it's almost like, Mike, that they have, 9 people defending right now along that 18-yard box.
Cole back to Schaefer. Only one body in the box. The Rowdies will move it around to the side. They don't have a lot of target people in there, and you can see that's why they're moving it across, looking for the weakness. But when you look in the box for Richmond, it's 4 white jerseys and maybe just 1 green and yellow. But Collins will mishit this. Turn it over. Richmond, long ball, Owosu Securi. Will be marked by Schaefer. Played in, and the header over the bar. Kamara in the counterattack for Richmond almost paid off.
Yeah, and this is where, as this lingers, Mike, this gets dangerous for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, that they can come down the pitch, the Richmond Kickers, with their speed, and in one little cross and a header, it's that close to defining that back corner for the Richmond Kickers, playing a much more direct style on the counterattack. Owusu Secure in there, and then you see Kamara coming in and getting ahead on that one and just over the bar. So to me, that's been almost the most dangerous opportunity of this first half, despite it not being technically a shot on goal.
Goal kick up, does get to Shorn Brown. He'll try to use his speed. It'll be a throw in here for Richmond, and the latest USL news is on SiriusXM FC. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 85. SiriusXM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
And that's also a product, Mike, of the Rowdies just playing a much higher line, being at home, having that confidence of putting more bodies forward because of all the bodies on the defensive side that the Richmond Kickers are putting backwards. But then that's what makes you susceptible to the counterattack, playing all those bodies up high and in the half of the Kickers.
So Pickens will have the goal kick. We're into the 39th minute, still scoreless. Richmond only scoring 3 goals in their 5 games this year, only conceding 4 though. Much expected, and tonight they've packed the defense in. Damian Lowe with another foul, and this will be, we saw him get the warning as he got the foot of Paddy McCann. This time it will be a caution issued to Damian Lowe. He's not too happy about the call as he went through the player.
And that's just a good foul there to take by the Richmond Kickers. You put the balls up the middle there. The player receiving the ball has his back to the defense of the Rowdies, and the challenge had to be made by Damian Lowe, and it's a foul. If the Rowdies could switch that and use that same thing with Brown's back to the play, send the balls into him, and see how the Richmond Kickers defense reacts, if they actually have a solid challenge or if the referee is forced to blow the whistle on a foul.
Well, Damian Lowe is not like this card. He's just, the referee is making a point to pull him aside. Lowe's been walking away the whole time, and now he'll raise his hands up. Here, give it to me on the card. He's not happy.
Well, and he's got to be careful too with that sort of attitude. The referee could easily pull out a second yellow card for dissent, and he's off. And he doesn't do much. You know, there's not much contact. He has his hands up on the shoulder, but the Kickers played it well enough to force the foul.
And it was a quantity call, as he did not get a card for the cleats to the shin of McCann, and he did get a talking to.
And after the whistle, though, when you're showing up a referee, it's very easy, Mike, for someone just to pull out that second yellow and say, see you later, your night's over.
You have to bite your frustration level, and he's rather fortunate. If the referee's had a bad day, you never know what he's going to do. Ball sent into the box. Chavez heads it down. Still on the free shot, and it will go over the crossbar. Pickens appeared to have it covered, but the shot from 30 by Owusu Securi does not find the frame.
Yeah, you never want to give the referee an opportunity, do you, Mike? Just don't leave it out there because you don't know how he's going to react. Again, that one just a little bit underneath it from Owusu Securi, and always floating up and over the bar. And you're right, looked like Matt Pickens had that one positionally if it would have been on goal.
Oliver for Richmond. Chavez will run behind him, take it away. Damian Lowe. Darnell King with some space getting up the field. Leaving it for Fernandez. Leo Fernandez across to Marcel Schaefer. He's got a foot if he wants to take it from there. It's a little bit off, but Darwin Jones now. Sent it still free, and it's off the foot of one of the kickers, and now they'll clear the field. Kamara running towards his own net, and some danger here for the kickers. They'll turn it over. Now it's an opportunity for Joe Cole into the box. Cole, shot saved by Turner. The kickers going back towards their own net, gave the turnover, and Cole able to get the shot on goal.
Best opportunity of the half for the Tampa Bay Rowdies in Joe Cole. And watch this, and I wonder here if Joe Cole would have went down there on that pull. You see the arm of Owusu Sekire getting in on the neck of Joe Cole. Give him a good little tug, but Joe Cole stays on his feet to try to get that shot away.
Jones brings it down again. Now it's Vingard. Darnell King with a lot of space. Drops it again for Fernandez. Fernandez with a bad ball. Looking for Kamara. He's in a foot race with Lowe. Lowe will get there first. Kamara gets this, and this will probably, well, we'll see. You saw Kamara got a talking to. No caution. Again, I don't know of any of the particular fouls, and I don't think Damian Lowe's was necessarily caution-worthy, but they were quantity, and we saw both of these players get a talking to. And
that's not much there. Damian Lowe's playing this one up, looking for a call. This is a bit of a battle. This is all about showmanship between Kamara and Lowe, and it's been going on most of this first half. And so far, it is Kamara who's been winning that battle with Lowe, as Lowe's been the one who's been showing the book so far tonight. And there he was looking to draw a call. Not much again from Kamara. And the referee saw it the right way there. Not giving the call. He did get the foul, but I still don't think that there was much there even for a foul to be called. There was a little bit of contact, but again, it's going to be a good battle to see this develop through the second half tonight with Lowe on that yellow card.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm just curious here, since they did both get a talking to, how much of the quantity do you go with? I don't think that was probably not even a foul, but you could argue that on Lowe's too. Not much of one. Here is Vingard. They would just want to see consistency from the referee, and he's been pretty good tonight so far. Just make sure to keep that under control. Here is Chavez. Justin Chavez looking to tee it up. Maybe didn't have it. Now he gives it out wide to King. King on the ball. Back post over the head. Now Marcel Schaefer will run onto it. Schaefer keeps it in. Now he'll cut it back onto the right foot towards the back post, running on to it. And it's still free. And a shot and a goal! Deshaun Brown with the scissor kick. And the Rowdies have a 1-0 lead in the 45th minute.
Well, there you have it, Deshaun Brown. Stuart Campbell's been preaching patience in this wide play, and it opened up for Schaefer on the right. He crosses it to the back of the box, and it's headed back over. And Deshaun Brown times that Darnell King head across the box and just makes a great scissor kick volley for his second goal as a member of the Rowdies, and a late one here in the first half for the Rowdies.
I think that header came back across after Schaefer sends it in off a Richmond kicker, but Brown, as you pointed out, no doubt about it, hammered it home on target and got the goal. Offside now is Kamara. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Late goals at halves. We've seen the Rowdies victimized by that. Not tonight. They get one for themselves.
Well, and probably deservedly so, right, Mike? When you think about the possession but really that's their first shot on target, and they finish it. And that's what happened last week with Charleston Battery. They didn't have many shots on goal, but they finished their opportunities, and that's not what the Rowdies were able to do. So if you're able to score, if you only get 3 opportunities and score on all 3 of those, then you're off and running. So, and especially if you're not giving the team the other ball and the opportunity as they've dominated the possession. So patience and practicing patience makes perfect, and that certainly was a perfectly executed goal by Deshaun Brown.
Darnell King now on the far side and now low. Be interesting to see now at halftime. Richmond's strategy of packing it in a little bit has been effective until that moment. And when you're on the road and you've given out that possession, the game plan will have to change early in the second half, if not at the half in itself. Rowdies just keeping possession as we coming up on the last seconds.
Yeah, at this point, Mike, they'll have to open up a little bit because now that draw on the road is gone. They have to do something offensively.
Well, the halftime whistle blows, and the Rowdies with the majority possession, but it's a late Deshaun Brown goal that has given them a 1-0 lead as we roll into the half, and Heather Donnelly is standing by with the head coach, Stuart Campbell.
Thank you, Mike. Coach, you wanted your team to be patient playing against the Kickers and their defensive style. They were patient. They got that goal there at the end of the half. How do you think the first half has gone so far?
Yeah, you can see obviously we've had the ball pretty much for the whole half really. They're trying to draw us in and counter-attack us quick as teams are going to do. But like I said, you'll be sick of hearing me say it, get the ball out wide and be patient and keep moving it, and something will open up. And we were just talking on the bench that we'd probably need a bit of individual brilliance to break a resilient back 5, and thankfully Deshaun come up with that.
What's the key now in the second half to make sure you hang on to this lead and pull out 3 points here at home?
No, we don't want to hang on. We're going to start the second half as if it's 0-0. That's going to be my message. I want us to go and get the next goal.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. And the Rowdies do have that 1-0 lead. Ralph's Mob enjoying that here as we hit the half. And the Rowdies lead Richmond Kickers 1-0. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies soccer on this TV, Tampa Bay.
Today, we can connect more, play more, do more. And all that more takes energy. At Duke Energy, we're doing more too. More innovative technology, like ways to fix outages before they happen, for more reliable energy every day. So no matter how much you do, we're always here, with power for your life.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
If you're new in town and working on your dreams and you don't know what you need, we got the perfect plan for you. My Blue, we are here for you, for you, for you. We're Florida Blue. Don't you worry now, 'cause you don't have to. Here we always say we got you. We are here for you. This is your home, Florida Blue.
Some people are blessed. Compassion and empathy are second nature. Being selfless increases their self-worth. They consider caring for others a calling, not a sacrifice. And we consider them our role models. Because if humanity can make the world a better place, imagine what it can do for healthcare.
Welcome back to Al Lang Stadium here in St. Petersburg as the Tampa Bay Rowdies lead the Richmond Kickers 1-0. The fans enjoying the berm over here at Al Lang, and they're also enjoying a 1-0 Rowdies lead. And a half dominated there with possession by the Rowdies, but really not a lot of opportunities. We saw the Joe Cole chance that he got, but it was your player to watch, Deshaun Brown, that ended up getting that goal.
Yeah, and you know what? To be honest, it's not the most exciting to watch as far as if you're going to see end-to-end soccer, but it is a strategy that's being deployed by the Rowdies, being patient left and right. As we take a look at those first half highlights, is patience and waiting for your opportunity and breaking down that defense, because you see here, that's what they're doing. They've had a lot of set pieces, a lot of U.S. Ameribank corner kicks here, and an opportunity. Look at Deshaun Brown there. He has a lot of contact there, a lot of tugging, and Richmond does a good job of blocking the header coming in, but here's what they're going to be trying to do. As we see Kamara in that battle with Lowe that's been going on that first 45 minutes, it's been fantastic, but they're going to try to come back. You heard Stuart Campbell talk quick on the counterattack because they do have some speedy legs. Here is Owusu Sakiri on that right-hand side, sending a ball into Kamara, and that one, he just gets a little bit underneath that one, can't get over top of it. One of the best opportunities by Richmond in that first 45 minutes of play. And that's what it's all been on the counterattack. They've gone offside at least 3 to 4 times. The flag has gone up. Mistiming runs just a little bit. How about this little give and go, 1-2. And then the pull right there by Owusu Sakiri. If Joe Cole goes down, instead of trying to get the shot up, a better angle here. Look at the pull right there on the neck. If Cole goes down, Mike, I think that's a definite penalty call. But Cole stays on his feet and tries to get the shot away, and he does, but it's a save there by Turner. And then the goal, it gets headed back across the face of the goal by a Richmond kicker. Deshaun Brown sitting there wide open, times it beautifully. Look at that, gets it down low, and no chance there for Turner.
But you saw there's Deshaun Brown celebrating the goal, and you can tell on the shots, only the 2 shots on goal, Joe Coles and Deshaun, but that's what it mattered. But that possession, we do see the Rowdies have dominated. It will be interesting to see what Richmond is able to do here in this half, because they're going to have to change their style, maybe not at half, but certainly as we start to hit that hour mark, they're going to have to see what they can do.
Yeah, they definitely are, so we'll see that adjustment because they need a goal if they want to leave here with a point.
Rowdies lead the Richmond Kickers 1-0. We got more of the halftime coming up. When we come back, you're watching Rowdy Soccer on this TV, Tampa Bay.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we want you to eat better and feel better with smoothies made from better-for-you ingredients and food crafted with the bold flavors you love, like our Chipotle Chicken Club flatbread with grilled chicken, bacon, pepper jack, and chipotle mayo, or our Island Green Smoothie with fresh kale and spinach, banana, mango, and pineapple. Life's too good to settle for anything less. Chipotle Chicken Club and Island Green Smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxyClean.
Stains on t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxyClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxyClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxyClean in a detergent. 1 cap beats 4 of theirs. OxyClean gets the tough stains out.
The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
On April 12th, the USL set the soccer world on fire as Phoenix Rising FC announced the signing of Didier Drogba, adding to the growing lineup of world-class players and young rising talent in the league, including England internationals Sean Wright-Phillips and Joe Cole, former Mexican international Omar Bravo, and German international Marcel Schaefer. The announcement set off a whirlwind of activity for the former Ivory Coast international, known simply as the King. First, hundreds of Phoenix Rising FC faithful packed the Phoenix airport in hopes of catching a glimpse of the global star, giving their newest addition a world-class welcome. And he did not disappoint. Didier posed with the Rising FC scarf and took time to shake hands and snap selfies with his newest supporters. The drums were out in full force, filling the airport with chants and songs of La Furia Roja 1881 and Bandidos, the club's recognized supporter groups. Then, late Sunday night, Didier was formally introduced to a packed house during halftime of the Phoenix Rising FC and Swope Park Rangers match. Joined at midfield by dozens of local youth soccer players, all clamoring for his photo and shaking his hand, Didier was introduced by club governor Burke Bakay and presented with his new number 11 Phoenix Rising jersey. Never short for words, the King grabbed a mic and addressed the crowd. After his comments, he embraced his youth players on the field, shook hands with fans in the stands, and even kissed a few babies. All in a week's work for one of the world's top soccer talents and personalities, and the newest member of Phoenix Rising FC and the USL. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
We got the sun, we got today, we got the sun, jumping, got it right through the night, got it dialed in, it's just you and me, in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg. The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beers, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
taste the feeling.
And welcome back. Here is second half about ready to start at Al Lang Stadium, and our coverage in 2 weeks will be against Louisville City. That is the next home game here at Al Lang Stadium. Louisville City, who the Rowdies drew against earlier, lost against at Louisville. Digital 32.2, Frontier 463, Spectrum 630, and Comcast 229. This TV Tampa Bay, and Heather is with the head coach of the Richmond Kickers, Lee Kalishaw, right now.
Thank you, Mike. Coach, going into this game, I know your emphasis was going to be defense. The Rowdies were able to sneak one in there at the end of the half, but overall, what are your thoughts on the way your team defended in the first half?
No, I was very pleased. I thought we disrupted Tampa, and I thought we had some good opportunities ourselves. We didn't have the possession, which we knew we wouldn't have, but we probably created just as many opportunities as Tampa. But now, obviously, the goal right at the end of the half is going to cause us some trouble. We're going to have to change it at some point, and they'll be a little bit more aggressive, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, in order to come away from here with at least a point, you're going to have to put at least one goal in. So what can you do to put a little bit more pressure on Tampa defensively?
Well, we'll just continue to play the way we are right now. I think we've had some good opportunities. We have a lot of attacking players off the bench, so we have the ability to change formations, and we have the ability to bring in a lot of pace and a lot of technical players. So we'll probably do that.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. As speculated, the Rowdies will be going from left to right here and look to continue pressure, as we heard from Stuart Campbell. Joe Cole over the ball right now. Good look at the Rowdies captain. Richmond will look to be the same 11 right now for both teams. No substitutions through the first 45 minutes. Referee looks at his watch. We are underway here, second half action between the Rowdies and the Richmond Kickers. Mike Pepper, Lee Godfrey, Heather Donnelly down on the sideline. Just heard from her. And the Rowdies leading 1-0 after 45 minutes.
Well, a controlled half by the Tampa Bay Rowdies, a patient half by them. Not getting much really on goal. Fortunate the Richmond Kickers did block a couple of opportunities. Joe Cole, he would have went down. Maybe he would have had a penalty kick call. Nice slide there by Cole. But in the end, it's almost a broken play, Mike, because there was a mistake. It looked like it was Brendan Troyer who headed that ball back across for Deshaun Brown to get on. But that's the sort of things that you're going to get when you continually put stuff into the box. Sooner or later, something good is going to happen for your side.
Vanguard on it now. Sent out wide for Leo Fernandez. Make that for Marcel Schaefer. Schaefer on the left foot. Sent in, looking for Brown, and headed away. And right now, Deshaun Brown is down because I think he got an elbow after the play by Shanoski. Shanoski cleared it away. It appeared that Brown ran into the elbow, but he did drop pretty eerily after that ball was headed away. And it came down across his face, but it was certainly Brown that initiated that contact, it appeared.
Yeah, Connor Shanowski was on his way down, and from that angle, you don't know how he came down on Brown's nose. I would assume that's just going to be a little bit of water in the eyes, Mike, and it's a little bit of a stinging sensation, but I would think that Brown, after a couple minutes, should be able to come back into this one. But of course, right away, Georgi Ristoff along the top of the goal there of the pitch, warming up immediately in case Brown can't continue.
Brown is sitting up, and as he pointed out, Shanoski on the clearance had his elbow up, but it did appear that Brown was the one that ran into that elbow. And slow motion, sometimes you just get those scrapes that just go just right,
Yeah, it wasn't on. He had already cleared the ball out. It wasn't like he went up and swung the elbows on the clearance and clipped Brown. Brown was coming forward into it and on the way back down on the clearance that Shanowski didn't really mean to intentionally elbow him. As we take another look at this, as Deshaun Brown is getting up. So the ball has come in. It is cleared out there, and on the way down, it's Brown coming in from behind, and yeah, he walks right into that one. From that angle, you can see probably a little more severe than the first angle.
Did come in and kind of jarred him back, but he is able to walk off the field. He'll walk over to the sideline, the drop ball, and appears Leo Fernandez will just play this back to Matt Turner. So Matt Turner's feet, and
that was close there. Deshaun Brown got waved back onto the field immediately.
It is a U.S. Ameribank corner kick. Turner just not paying attention in that case there. I mean, you know with sportsmanship, and that's what the Rowdies did when they sent it over, but he rolled it right back into trouble.
Yeah, from that moment on, the moment he's got that ball in his own possession, then it's back to a regular game, and that's just lights out for a second by Turner. You got to be smarter than that.
This will be Cole. Sends it in. Collins is the challenge. It's Malin Roberts, and Collins over the back of Malin Roberts, and it will be a free kick for the Richmond Kickers. They'll play it short. Malin Roberts will get the opportunity with a little bit of space. He'll come up the field. Looking to switch it all the way across. He does. That will be Lee. Sends it in. Damian Lowe has to clear it out. Lowe is playing the second half with a yellow card.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that sort of stuff, Mike, all night from the kickers. Anytime they get around the box, they're going to be playing direct and trying to boot that ball in to try to create something.
Here is Malin Roberts. Out wide now for Troyer. Back to Roberts again. As we see as Shanowski's kind of moved back. They are playing with the 5 defenders at this point, but they have moved the outside defenders up a little bit more. In the form of Troyer on the left side and Alex Lee on the right side as Richmond. Here's Shanowski. Roberts in, nice touch. Now the ball through, and that one's cleared away as running onto it is Oliver. Here's Darwin Jones, and Jones is clipped up from behind. And for viewers in Tampa Bay after the action on the field, check out all the movie action on Tampa Bay's first broadcast movie channel, This TV Tampa Bay. Digital 32.2, Spectrum 630, Frontier Fios 463, and Comcast 229.
Well, right now, Mike, Louisville is tied with Toronto FC 2 in the 52nd minute, and the Ottawa Fury have a lead right now on the Charleston Battery.
We expected a lot of those things from Ottawa. I mean, we saw how good they were.
2-1. It's in Charleston in the 83rd. So if the Fury could hold on for 3 points and the Rowdies hold on here too, that would bode well. And the Rowdies moving back up out of that 4th position.
Damian Lowe. Brown plays it towards the corner. Troyer will head it out before King can get to it. It'll be a throw in for the Rowdies. And that's off of Troyer's head, and it will be another U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
That's a smart play by Darnell King. He was watching Deshaun Brown. Deshaun Brown came from inside the box and made that run just to the outside of the 18 and really forced Troyer to play that ball and have to play it out for a corner kick. So get a corner out of a throw.
Schaefer sends it in, does not clear the front man. Roberts heads it away. Run down by King. Darnell King across the field, dangerous ball. Owusu Security cannot control it. Collins, good defensive play to gain possession back for the Rowdies. couple more. Bethlehem beating Cincinnati. There's the Rochester Rhinos knocking out the Charlotte Independence 4-0 as Cole comes forward. There's the score you were talking about, Lee, as that one will roll out for a goal kick.
You see Darwin Jones at the bottom of our screen there, and he's been calling and putting his arm up a couple of times, being left on mark, asking for a ball to be sent into the box so he can make his run. The Rowdies need to look up at times and have that vision across the field and send him away.
Turner will take this goal kick, driving in towards the sideline. Challenge. Darwin Jones. And Lowe will look to play it over the top. Cole will give the obligatory run, but force the header by Shinovsky, inbounds by Troyer. And now the Rowdies get it with Darwin Jones. Jones cuts inside, looking for help. His pass for Brown is intercepted. Brown, good hustle to get it back. Here's Cole. Cole slots it for King, and well read by Malin Roberts. Roberts will look to go forward, and his pass for Oliver just a little bit far.
And there you see a jinxed the Ottawa Fury. It always happens. You talk about scenarios, and it comes back to bite you in the butt. Is the Charleston Battery in the 84th minute of play have come back to tie that one up to try to get at least a point, but I'm sure they'll be pressuring in the last 5 minutes. And Romario Williams, who's been a scoring sensation so far this season for the Battery, held off the board by the Rowdies last week, but back to it at home for Charleston tonight.
Now the Kickers with the ball in. Deshaun Brown back to defend as Cole has kind of assumed that position up high, and Brown's running a little bit more from where Cole began, but that one will be out. It'll be a throw in here for the Kickers. Evan Lee. And a through ball to Kamara. A little space, but well defended by Lowe. Bad ball by Chavez, but Rowdy's able to run it back down as Chavez gets it back. In for Cole. Run down by the Kickers, and they'll take possession. Shinovsky.
Kickers doing a little bit better of a job, Mike, here in this second half of play, with playing what the game that the Rowdies were in the first half, moving the ball from left to right, holding on to possession, and trying to get something going here. They're putting the foot down. They're not sitting back nearly as much as they did in the first.
That one sent towards the back post. Pickens, though, off his line, and he'll roll it out quickly here for King, who slows it back down for Jones.
I thought King had enough space there, Mike, to try to make a little bit of a run up that right flank.
Did a little bit, but you look forward where the Rowdies were, and they still had a lot of green and yellow behind the ball. So, and King waiting on Jones, kind of out of that position. Now Cole looking to slot it in. Here is Darnell King. King cuts it inside, that ball across. It's still free, but the second ball, and now two Kickers go down. They take themselves out, perhaps. No, but they still have it. Owusu Sakiri out wide. Collins will lose it to Kamara. Kamara waiting for help. Now Asante. Damian Lowe will get it. Cole wide. Darwin Jones. Here's Jones looking to cut inside. Troyer stands him up, and now Troyer will tackle. It'll be a free kick for the Rowdies. And a caution will go out to, well, maybe, no, it's just a spray can, excuse me. Saw the referee reach down and grab something, but I thought it was a card.
Here's a look back quickly at the play beforehand. Joe Cole, I believe it was, with a beautiful through ball to Darnell King, who got around as Troyer mistimes it. So watch this ball here as Troyer's not able to get to it. And then going into the box, Deshaun Brown's got to slow up a little bit. He should have been at the top of the box. He went with all the Richmond Kickers in the line, and Darnell had no one to give it to. Slows up a bit there, and he cuts it back. And if Deshaun Brown slows up around the penalty spot area, he may have had an opportunity.
Leo Fernandez will take the free kick for the Rowdies. It's over the head of Cole. It's cleared out by the Kickers. It'll be a throw in for the Rowdies. In for Jones. Darwin Jones one-on-one with Asante. That's off the foot, and it's still going to roll out wide. And Malin Roberts had an unfortunate clearance that rolled right in front of the goal, but nobody else there, and Turner runs it down.
Very fortunate there that Deshaun Brown wasn't hanging around that back post of that attempted clearance by Malin Roberts.
Schaefer will run it down for the Rowdies.
Schaefer's done a good job tonight filling in for Luke Bowden at that left back position. He's been doing most of the servicing on the corner kicks, and in the run of play had a solid match so far.
Lowe will look forward for Brown. It will be off of Deshaun Brown's head. Cleared upfield. Collins wins the header. Owusu Security is down, but he backed into Collins, and Collins kind of held his ground. And while they look at Owusu Security, mind you here, the latest USL news is on Sirius XM FC. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 85. Sirius XM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. No foul was called on this. It did go off the head of Neil Collins, and you can see as he dropped back, he kind of ran into a brick wall.
Yeah, Collins gets his arm up a little bit there, but he always had position there. He did not go into Owusu Security. Security backed into Neil Collins there, and that's why the official allowed play on, and rightly so.
Owusu Security is up. He'll walk off to the side for just a moment. And we appreciate as we hit the hour mark, those watching on Estrella TV. Rowdies leading Richmond 1-0. Mike Pepper, Lee Godfrey. Heather Donnelly on the sideline. You can see the Twitter handles for Lee and myself. There's an opportunity as Darwin Jones cuts inside. Now he's onto the left foot. He'll shoot, and at Turner covers it up before Cole can get the rebound. You like to see those shots from a little bit of distance, see what can happen.
Yeah, you hear the crowd too. When someone's going up the middle 1v1, you just get that excitement and see how far he can go with that ball. And he gets a shot, not everything you wanted on that, but again, Joe Cole was sitting Johnny on the spot if Turner spilled out a rebound.
Again, possession time better than 2/3 for the Rowdies. It looks like both teams will be set to make a couple of subs, Lee, too. We just passed the hour mark, and we kind of expected that. Is that ball over the top? Richmond looking at those first 15 minutes, and now Schaefer marked up on that far side, able to get to the ball first, and as it rolls over the line, it will be a couple of substitutions. In for the Tampa Bay Rowdies will be Georgie Ristoff with a near milestone appearance. He was on for Leo Fernandez. And Richmond was set to make a couple of subs, and we heard Lee Kalishaw talk about, I would imagine these might be some offensive substitutions, Lee, as they have to look to start pushing forward for the tying goal. See Ristoff on for Fernandez. Richmond will wait to make their substitutions. It is the only one right now here for the Rowdies. Richmond has a couple of players lined up. Long ball sent in. Owusu Security back off the backside of Cole. Chavez sends it up, and now Ristoff. Working forward. Chavez on a tackle, and Brown is offside. Flag will come up. Deshaun Brown doesn't exactly agree, but...
No, and neither is Stuart Campbell on the sidelines. He's on the opposite side of the pitch of where the lines judge put the flag up exactly. So he sees this way differently. Great tackle there. Justin Chavez just going right through that one and getting all ball.
So Sonny Janet is on for Oliver. And making his way off will be Asante. On for Asante will be Anthony Grant. Jones with it at his feet. Here is Shinaski. There you go, Lee. Ottawa able to come away with the point, but Charleston able to save one as well with that late goal.
Good news, though, you don't want to be dropping points at home, so Charleston always wanting to win games. You get the full 3 at home, so an opportunity for the Rowdies again, if they can hold this victory and get the 3 points, to gain 2 more points, because they lost the full 3 against the Charleston Battery last Saturday.
Collins. As we pointed out, we start to see the Richmond pressure a little bit higher now as they push forward. Headed down. Chavez into Cole. Cole nowhere to run. He'll turn it out to Ristov. Sent across to King. Guard. Rowdies again with just more possession. Cut inside. Joe Cole attempts to find Brown. It's a little far for him.
Good move, though, by Joe Cole. Sometimes that's what it takes, is one quick turn to be able to get inside and then try to find either Georgie Ristov or Deshaun Brown going forward, trying to make a run. But Joe Cole's ball just a little bit too far that time. But it's that initial move to open up some space. And he did that by beating the Richmond midfielder.
Sent in to Cole. Rowdies with possession in the back again. Richmond pressing a little bit higher as Grant. Working Kamara, they'll go back to Pickens. Looking long for Georgie Ristov. Ristov heads it on. There's a collision of players, and one of the Richmond players stood down. That collision with Ristov. He's up now, but still a little uncomfortable, and now he'll take a knee. See where that is. Now they'll send it over the field, and is that one goes into the stands, and we'll look at the attention for the Rowdies. Let's check in with Heather Donnelly down on the sideline.
Mike, with his entrance into tonight's game, Georgie Ristov is now just 1 game away from tying the all-time appearance record with the Rowdies. Takuya Yamada currently holds that record with 120 appearances. Tonight is Georgie's 119th, so he could tie that record next weekend in Ottawa. Guys?
Thank you, Heather. And Georgie also has a streak going here, too. 4 home games this year, 4 goals scored in every home game. So it'd be nice for the Rowdies fans to see something here in the final 23 minutes.
Well, no doubt Georgie Ristov will beat that record this season, and what an accomplishment for him as a member of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Into Cole. King and Cole work well together. Now Cole drops it into Darwin Jones. And Troyer.
Oh, I can't believe he's waved that off, Mike. That's a yellow card. He's pulled him down with his arm, and an absolutely terrible missed call there.
Our angle definitely showed that, and that's all the way around.
He's got his arms around him. He's wrapped him up, and the referee says, get up, no call.
And you wonder also in this case why perhaps maybe the lines, that's right in front of the linesman, because we're almost on that same angle, Lee.
Now, we could easily see from our perspective here in this corner of the broadcast booth that the arms of trainer were around him there, and I can't believe that the referee has just said, get up and play on. In other occasions where we've seen him blow the whistle and give free kicks and even yellow cards.
Well, as that goal kick goes long.
Well, it was number 18.
I see it over there, and we can check with Heather Donnelly as the free kick goes for that. Right now, Richmond had to make a jersey change. Did they not, Heather?
Yeah, Alex Lee came over to the sideline. His nose was bloodied. He had blood on his jersey, so they've swapped him out into a new jersey. Now he's wearing number 17 rather than number 18, guys.
Good to know, as we see number 17, no substitution, but Alex Lee with blood on the jersey will be wearing 17 for those watching. You can see the gauze in the nose right now. That must have been on that collision, Lee, with Georgie Ristov when he went down. We were wondering what had happened there. And that is apparently the case. So they had to take the bloodied jersey off as Richmond will look to go forward. Sent out. Little opportunity here for Troyer. On the left foot. And it's sent up the field. And they'll go all the way back to their goalkeeper. Holds it at his feet as Turner switches the field. Turnover here now, perhaps. It is. Collins works here with Ristov. Back to Collins. We've played 70 minutes here at Al Lang Stadium. Rowdies leading the Richmond Kickers 1-0. With the Sean Brown scissor volley goal, and the 45th minute is the difference right now.
Rowdies fans would really like to see them press a little bit more here now, show a little bit more urgency to get that second goal in this. The longer that they do not get that, it just keeps the Kickers in the match.
Looking for a through ball for King. Did it go off of Troyer? Yes, it did. It will be a U.S. Ameribank corner kick for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
And this is an area where the Rowdies have just dominated as far as earning corner kicks, Mike, but they just haven't been able to get anything off of them. They haven't been able to get ahead on the ball in the box. Richmond doing a good job so far of clearing out all of these opportunities.
Darwin Jones sends it to the back post. Collins is there. He'll head it back, and I guess a whistle kind of came down in the middle of the net as someone got tied up, and it will be a free kick here for the Kickers. And for viewers in Tampa Bay, this TV has your chance to win a PS4 Pro console and a copy of FIFA 2017, plus a special autographed item from the Rowdies. Watch Rowdies home games on this TV and look for the clue. Go to mor-tv.com for more information. Sent wide, and this one might be run down by Georgie Ristov. It is. He'll run towards the line. He's got Cole streaking in the box. He's looking for Cole, but it's headed away, and it will be yet another U.S. Ameribank corner kick. And while Georgie Ristov sets it up, I guess we can look quickly at the last one. Here it is in front, Joe Cole. A little shoving and going, and Turner goes down a little easily, but
looked like Turner himself is the one that wrapped himself up with Joe Cole, and that's like a holding in the National Football League. I find that anytime in the box if the referee wants to call a foul, he can, or he can let it go.
Well, Cole won't have a foul this time as he's taken the corner. It's sent over the back post, headed up by Owusu Security. Schaefer looking to tee it, and he goes over his back. Would have been an outstanding goal. Instead, it's a goal kick. USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow the league on Twitter at USL. Damian Lowe will take the free kick, looking for Ristoff into Joe Cole. Cole on the turn, but a good recovery by the kickers and Evan Lee.
Well, good job there by Damian Lowe to force Malin Roberts on the bad ball and just kick it out into touch, and Rowdies win possession.
Well, King and Darwin Jones, wide Obi King going inside. He'll push it to the line. He will not get to it. Goal kick will go for Richmond, and Darnell King flips over the railing. It looks like Turner's trying to quickly look to go forward, whether or not you got a down defender. That King up and running back. See King pushing towards the corner.
Right idea there, just a little bit too much on that pass, couldn't catch up to it.
Well, Lee, this is one of those that you have to wonder, as that ball bounces up and it will be a handball. Free kick for the Rowdies. The curiousness of whether or not 1-0 the Rowdies, they controlled this game to this point, but you are just one mistake away from creating an opportunity for Richmond to get themselves back in it.
Yeah, at home you want to be able to push a little more and use this home field as an advantage. Ralph's mob and the crowd here cheering on this team to be able to notch that second goal and really put the kickers in a position.
That goes off the knees, Shinosky, but it's run down by Troyer, sent upfield. Here's Collins. Vingard with some space. Troyer will send it up the field. Damian Lowe will get the throw, and for viewers in Tampa Bay, you can catch the Rowdies at home all season on This TV Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's first broadcast movie channel. Find This TV at Digital 32.2, Spectrum 630, Frontier Fios 462, and Comcast 229. This TV, your broadcast home for Rowdies soccer. Headed back forward by Roberts. Jones, though, will have it for the Rowdies. Darwin Jones with a nifty move, cuts inside, now sends it across to Schaefer. Again out to Schaefer. Cole. Wide for King. King to the box, headed up strongly by Shinosky, out. Deshaun Brown down again, back in the penalty spot, but he's back up. He's working towards the offside line. He's back on. Should they play it into him now? Here's Cole. Jones. Shinosky will clear it out to Owusu Sekire, who, excuse me, it's actually out to Janae. Sonny Janae. Now it's Deshaun Brown, and his shot teed up is blocked by Shinosky. An opportunity now is Kamara, though. We'll look for it and try and give it out to Grant. Grant to Owusu Sekire. He'll shoot from distance, and it will go out and be a goal kick. So Richmond set to make their third and final substitution. Into the game will be Luis Fernando. Out will be, actually they won't do it just yet. He'll be set to do it on the next opportunity. Damian Lowe will send it up the field. Good ball for Grant. It's going to roll too far. It'll be a Rowdies throw. And that substitution will take place now. As we said, it will be for the captain. This will be a total offensive move here. Janoski off. Fernando on.
Yeah, with Kimura now, Fernando and Janae, 3 forwards out there. You still have Secure out there for the Richmond Kickers, so they have got 4 offensive players out there on the pitch right now, just looking for an opportunity to capitalize on a Rowdies' poor play. Good job there by Troyer to keep Darwin Jones off the ball.
Grant, Janae, Sinten, Damian Lowe will get to it. Joe Cole. Rowdies set to make a substitution, and the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news by visiting USLsoccer.com and follow the league on Twitter at USL. Richmond looking to make an effort now, but the Rowdies will take it away in the middle of the field. Schaefer will send it out wide. Here's Deshaun Brown. Brown around the defender, into the box. Brown with a shot, and it's wide. Goal kick. Great individual effort by Deshaun Brown. And the Rowdies will make their second substitution as well. Here is Michael Nanchoff will be on for Darwin Jones.
Good effort here, a good run by Deshaun Brown. Great little inside out there to beat the defender, but he just gets that one up too high, and it cuts it right across the crossbar and the face of the goal.
So the goal kick by Turner. Jones. See his night come to an end. There's an opportunity here as that ball played back. We see that Evan Lee has stepped in as Turner mishits that one. Vingard and the Rowdies will keep possession for now. Damian Lowe, and that's just going to go too far. Turner will run it down.
Turner very close there to stepping outside his box with the ball in his hands.
It's like one of the players, and I think it's the Rowdies right now, playing without a shoe. Damian Lowe has a shoe off in the back, so I'm curious to see how this happens. It was stepped on a few minutes ago. Now it's coming there on a long ball looking for Nanchoff. Troyer able to win it. This could be very interesting if we want to see. You can see the foot of Lowe right now, and on the foul, Damian Lowe, one-footed. And of course, Damian Lowe has a yellow card already. It's something he's taking the time to put the shoe on right now. But Richmond doesn't have to wait. Well, I guess they do now, as they were looking for the quick ball. Referee will give Damian Lowe a chance to put the shoe on.
Yeah, and he had already painted the line too, and he had to mark the 10 paces for the Rowdies. So that's what he was saying to the Richmond kickers there. Look, I've already drawn the line. I'm doing the 10 paces.
Owusu Secure trying to play it quickly. He'll be over the ball. Two-man wall, Owusu Secure from about 40 yards. Plays this one into the area, down to the foot. Now it's still free, and again, you won't want to watch a bounce come this way. It's into the box, and it will deflect, and Pickens will be able to keep it in bounce. And the latest USL news is on SiriusXM FC. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 85. SiriusXM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Well, as this game goes on, Mike, Rowdies fans holding their breath there because late in this game, those are not the type of opportunities they want to be giving the Richmond kickers. That would just be so deflating for the kickers to get a late goal here. So very tense moments for the Rowdies here to try to close this one out.
One sent up by Evan Lee. Now Alex Lee, wearing 17, will send it over his head to Owusu Secure. Richmond has used all their subs. And soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Here's Owusu Secure. Sends it out wide to Malin Roberts, so Roberts will have to come get it a little bit, looking for a little help. Send it now over to Troyer, and actually send it into the ball boy over the sides. Here's Damian Lowe, back with the shoe on again. Now Schaefer. Chavez. Solid game from Justin Chavez tonight, stepping into the role vacated by Schaefer, who's filling the left back position today for Luke Bowden, who had the illness throughout the week. Sent over for Deshaun Brown. Second ball is won by Nanchoff. Now it's Cole, Joe Cole, into Georgie Ristov. Georgie Ristov into the box. He'll cut it across, deflected, Turner gets it.
Oh, that close there. Fortunate defending there by the Richmond kickers, and a little bit of luck just to deflect off that leg where Georgie Ristov had a cross to a couple of Rowdies entering that 6-yard box.
These two teams will meet June 17th in Richmond. Justin Chavez, now Schaefer, back into Chavez.
Again, Mike, I like the way that whole play developed, though. That was a ball over the top to Deshaun Brown. Yes, the Richmond kickers' defense and Evan Lee dealt with it all right, but it's what happened after that, and it was that second chance opportunity that the Rowdies did well on. Michael Nanshoff doing a great job of fighting off a couple of Richmond kickers to get that opportunity over to Georgie Ristov.
Cole is dropped back with it now. Pickens will send it up the field. Brown may have been offside, so he didn't attack it. Taken away by Chavez into Brown. Brown is taken down. Flip from behind, and Owusu Secure will get the yellow card. See Deshaun Brown in there, and that was well behind the play. And
yeah, easy call there. He just kicked his legs right out from underneath him, well behind the ball there.
And soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. USL.com. Darnell King on it, out to Nanchoff, and those two look like they haven't played together for the first 80 minutes today, as that one will go out. It'll be a throw in for Richmond. Nanchoff is fouled by Owusu Sekire. Pressure put on Collins, doesn't want anything to do with it back there. He just sends it up, looking for Brown, headed away by Roberts. Second ball, won by Cole. Cole able to step on it. He and Brown working together. Now Brown looking for Ristoff, who would have been offside. It just stepped away, cleared out. But Schaefer will run it down. Marcel Schaefer to the line. He'll whip it across over everyone on the back post, but it does hang up nicely, but played there and cleared out by the Kickers. But Damian Lowe again, first one to it. Damian Lowe off the touch, and Cole was offside. Cole's touch went on to Ristoff, but as it came in, the flag came up. That one towards the corner. We're into the 90th minute. Understand there's to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. We thought there may have been a little bit more in this one, because we've seen a few stoppages here in the second half.
Now we're going to see Richmond really just throw it all forward now. I don't think they're too concerned about conceding a second goal, because it won't change the fact that they would come out of here with 0 points if they want to try to salvage a draw here. And I think you're going to see them pushing a lot more forward. And I'm still kind of surprised they're going with 4 at the back right now, Mike.
Well, Collins almost lost it. Schaefer gets it, and it is, the Rowdies do turn it over there carelessly, and there's a lot of white jerseys forward. Into the 90th minute, onto the right foot, now the open man. Owusu Sekiri's shot is blocked by Collins. Rowdies' careless turnover almost cost them. They're still not out of the woods yet. They will head it up the field, having had possession since then. You do seem to get it now as Georgie Ristoff has it, and he's hooked, and then he stepped on, but it did not appear to be intentional, but he's down as Georgie got the stepped on, and maybe a spot no man wants to be stepped on. So is the intention going against Mel and Roberts, perhaps. Another look at the foul. Actually, it was Grant, Anthony Grant, as Grant came down. Oh, that, you know, that did look a little more intentional than perhaps originally looked.
Yeah, I think that he could have avoided him there, Mike. He had enough time in the air, and he came down on Ristoff, knowing full well where he was. Didn't make much of an effort to roll over him or just get to the left or right. He just came right down on Ristoff.
Looks like the Rowdies will be set to make their final sub. They'll have the free kick. They may wait the next opportunity.
I think Schaefer's had a good night, Mike, tonight at left back. He was the one that set up the original goal tonight by the Rowdies on that left-hand side. Had a little bit of a space, made a cutback, and sent that initial ball to the far post that Braden Troyer sent back over, in which Deshaun Brown was able to scissor kick into the back of the goal. But that was one of only, I would think, 2 shots, Mike, that the Rowdies have had tonight. Joe Cole with the only other shot on goal for the Rowdies. You'd like to see that number be a little bit higher here at home to be able to, you know, come away with a win, and a distinctive win.
Well, Turner will send it up the field. Cut inside, free kick will go the way for the Kickers. Luis Fernando will run it down, and the Rowdies will be making their final substitution as Joe Cole will come off. It'll be Martin Patterson coming on. So Cole will hand the captain's armband to Neil Collins, it appears. Or Or actually, right now, I don't think, are they going to do the sub? They're not doing it.
Stuart Campbell certainly wants it.
And originally the referee signaled for it, but it does not appear. Cole did not come off just yet. Headed down, Cole sent back up the field. Damian Lowe will use Pickens, and Pickens will just play it out. And again, when you're within a goal, we have passed the 3 minutes, but that last minute may go on. Patterson seems to, no, he's still with his feet up. He's still ready to go in, but Richmond's going to take this throw. Owusu Secure will look to throw it in long. He does, and good pressure right there. That's something that's going to go unnoticed by the Rowdies. That one slipped out of Owusu Secure. He did not give him a free ball to throw. And that was Nanchoff who did a good job there. Sent back up the field by Turner, though. Down to the feet. Now sent across the area. Headed away by Lowe. And now the ball's still free. Just sent up to Shorn Brown with it. Brown plays it to space, and not a good ball. It'll be a throw in here for the Kickers. Referee with his whistle in his mouth, and desperation times for the Richmond Kickers have come to an end. They do not get the equalizer, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies are 1-0 winners here at home for the 3rd time this year, and the 4th shutout of the season. But as we mentioned, the 3rd time with a 1-0 victory. Heather with the head coach, Stuart Campbell.
Thanks, Mike. Coach, a solid 3 points for you here at home. What impressed you most about your team's performance tonight?
Yeah, everything really. Like you said, they bounced back from last week. Obviously, disappointment of losing the game in the manner which we did. We spoke about coming back and showing a reaction, a positive reaction. I think we did. We were very patient. I mean, we had so much of the ball tonight. It almost became, I was concerned that in transition we'd get caught, but the back four, they were really switched on, as were the rest of the team from a defensive aspect.
Right, thanks, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. As you know, the victory did go the way for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They do get the 1-0 victory today against the Richmond Kickers. And as we mentioned right there, Heather Donnelly is now with the Richmond Kickers head coach Lee Calishaw.
Thank you, Mike. Coach, you dropped this one here on the road. What do you take away from this game tonight in Tampa Bay?
Again, just the same we're going to do all season. We're going to be very difficult to score on. We've got to get better. You know, we've got a lot of young players, so we're a little naive in how we get fouled and how we turn, challenges into fouls. I think Tampa's got a lot of experience, excellent quality on the ball, and we've got to improve in those areas if we're going to be making the playoffs. But really pleased with the effort, really pleased with the way we're really competing with every team. We just got to find a way now, hopefully get our attacking players healthy and start pushing on.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. And the Rowdies come away 1-0 victors tonight here at Al Lang Stadium. We got a lot coming up on the post-game show. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdy Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
There's a lot to a name.
Especially when that name is a world leader in healthcare.
We still deliver the same compassion we provided for 90 years.
Plus the excellence you expect from Johns Hopkins.
Together we can conquer the biggest challenges.
And offer your child the very best care.
When it comes to kids, choose Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
So 2 weeks from tonight, the Rowdies will be back 463 Spectrum 630 and Comcast 229. Our coverage starts at 7 o'clock on that night, but we got more to come here as the post-game show coming up.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
Welcome to Al Lang Stadium, where the post-game show for the Tampa Bay Rowdies underway as they beat the Richmond Kickers 1-0. Mike Pepper alongside Lee Godfrey. Heather Donnelly be working hard down on the sideline. And Lee, tonight it's a game there that we knew what Richmond was going to do. We knew they were going to come back into a defensive posture. They did that very successfully, but Deshaun Brown able to find a hole, and the Rowdies able to hang on.
Yeah, not the most exciting match for a fan to watch through 90 minutes. Not a lot of opportunities generated through this match, but they got the job done. It's 3 points. It's a win as we take a look at those highlights of this 90 minutes. And a lot of this was played in the middle of the park, left and right by the Rowdies, getting some opportunities, but not getting anything clear-cut on goal in the first 30 minutes of this game. Fortunate bounces for the Kickers as their defense are able to block, and Richmond always looking for something on the counter-attack. It is that battle there between Damian Lowe was going all night long, and it was a good one to see. But here we see Ous Sakiri with the best ball in that first half, right up and over the bar. That one goes, a close opportunity for the Richmond Kickers in that first half, as Kamara could not get up enough to get over that ball. Joe Cole here pulled from behind. It looked like there could have been a penalty call on that play right there by Ous Sakiri, and Joe Cole stays on his feet though to get the first shot on goal. And then finally the Rowdies do get something going here. The ball sent in by Marcel Safer to the back post, and it's sent back across, and Deshaun Brown with a fantastic scissor kick shot, and that beats Turner to give the Rowdies that 1-0 lead right at the end of the first half. And in the second half, we heard Stuart Campbell say more of the same. We should be playing this like it is 0-0. Great through ball there by Joe Cole to Darnell King. Darnell King tries to cut it back. Deshaun Brown coming a little bit too far into the box there, and he can't get on the end of that one. And again, Deshaun Brown with another opportunity here. He just can't get it on the angle there to be on goal, and that's wide. And so the Rowdies not able to get anything going in the second half, but defensively good enough for the three.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, look at the corner, 7-0. I mean, it was nothing there. Basically possession 2-1 throughout the game. 2/3 of the game for the Rowdies, and there was the one goal. The shots for Richmond were pretty much far out. Matt Piggins not tested once tonight, but again, something we expected coming into this match, because Richmond was going to bunker in, and the Rowdies were able to get that one goal, and that was the difference tonight as the Rowdies beat Richmond 1-0. We'll come back more on the post-game show. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies Soccer on This TV Tampa Bay.
Some people are blessed. Compassion and empathy are second nature. Being selfless increases their self-worth. They consider caring for others a calling, not a sacrifice. And we consider them our role models. Because if humanity can make the world a better place, imagine what it can do for healthcare.
The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
There's never been a better time to get rowdy. For a limited time, you can get 3 games for only $33 with the Rowdies Hat-Trick Pack. Call 727-222-2000 or go to Ticketmaster.com/Rowdies right now and get 3 games for just $33. And see the Rowdies destroy the competition. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. And the Hat-Trick Pack is only available for a limited time. Come on, you Rowdies!
Welcome back to Al Lang Stadium. Rowdies knock off the Richmond Kickers tonight on a Deshaun Brown goal here at Al Lang Stadium. Mike Pepper and Lee Godfrey and Heather Donnelly working hard. And as we mentioned, it's a Deshaun Brown goal. Let's get with Heather, who's down on the field with the goal scorer tonight.
Thanks, Mike. Deshaun, you scored quite a goal tonight. That one's going to make a lot of different highlight reels. Take me through that goal from your point of view on the field.
Ball come across and I just saw it. I was there. I think I should hit it, but I watched the height of the ball, and I know if I hit the ball, it's not going to be possible. So I try something I always try, and bicycle kick, and it happens. So, yeah.
A solid win for you guys here tonight at home. How important is this one for you guys, just kind of getting back on track after a little bit of a slump there?
I was very critical because, we had a rough week last week, and to bounce back from that, that's pretty awesome. So. But the vibes in the camp is really good. We stay motivated, we stay positive. So we're just happy to win tonight and put ourselves back up in the race.
All right, thanks, Deshaun. Guys.
Thank you, Heather. And as we mentioned there, Lee, a nice little scissor kick there by Deshaun Brown, acrobatic. And the nice thing is you get a lot of power on it and got underneath the goalkeeper tonight.
Yeah, he did. It was perfectly executed by Deshaun Brown. And I think that's what you get with him. You get that size, you get that creativity, and you get that mobility, maybe a little bit more than you will with a Georgi Ristov. Georgi Ristov is a fantastic finisher. I would say he's more of a meat and potatoes type player, but you're going to see a lot of creativity. And here's what he's talking about. He didn't know if he should go with his head at first, but when he saw the height of the ball coming back across, he knew that he'd try the scissor kick or the half bicycle kick on that one, and perfectly executed. He hits it down into the ground on the bounce and makes it very difficult for Turner to be able to stop that. So that's what Stuart Campbell saw in starting Deshaun Brown tonight.
Yeah, he called it the bicycle. I might call it the unicycle, but you know what? It's a goal. That's all he's got to point at, and that's the difference tonight. Deshaun Brown with an outstanding goal tonight gives the Rowdies a 1-0 victory. This TV Tampa Bay is the official broadcast home for Tampa Bay Rowdies soccer.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we want you to eat better and feel better with smoothies made from better-for-you ingredients and food crafted with the bold flavors you love, like our Chipotle Chicken Club flatbread with grilled chicken, bacon, pepper jack, and chipotle mayo, or our Island Green Smoothie with fresh kale and spinach, banana, mango, and pineapple. Life's too good to settle for anything less. Chipotle Chicken Club and Island Green Smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Florida Print Solutions is St. Petersburg's leader for the best quality, service, marketing, and printing solutions for your business, always with free pickup and delivery. At Florida Print Solutions, we stand for our community. Superior product quality, effective business solutions, and of course, we stand for printing. Make your next call to Florida Print Solutions and take your business image to the next level. Florida Print Solutions is an official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxyClean.
Stains on t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxyClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxyClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxyClean in a detergent. One cap beats 4 of theirs. OxyClean gets the tough stains out.
Well, it's a beautiful evening. It's even more beautiful by virtue of a 1-0 Rowdies victory tonight against the Richmond Kickers in the post-game show as the Rowdies get the win that they much needed to end a 3-game winless streak. And one of those players on the defensive side, I believe, might be standing by with Heather Donnelly right now, and she is with Darnell King.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. And Darnell, a good win for you guys here. 3 points at home, another shutout. Yeah. What enabled you guys to play so well defensively against Richmond tonight?
I think a lot of good communication that we had tonight. Just a team camaraderie. We knew we had to come back from that loss last week and step up and 1, get a shutout, and 2, get 3 points. So just, we need to score our chances, and we did tonight. A goal's a goal, and it goes in, and we win the game. So we needed that. So it's good for us.
And now we've got to talk about the important stuff. We saw you flip over the field board there in that play in the second half. First of all, are you okay? And second of all, what happened there?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's just momentum. I didn't want to run into these hard poles. I'd rather just go over top, land softly. But I was just going too fast like that. Kid in Mighty Ducks who can't stop sometimes. So that was me today. But I'm good, yeah. I'm all right. And got up, got back, so it's all good.
Well, we're glad you're okay, and I'm sure that one will make a good GIF for Twitter.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, back to you guys.
Thanks, Heather. And, Lee, you go out there sometimes and you just kind of clumsily in there and you maybe try and sit on a wall, and guess what? The wall's not nearly where it should have been.
Yeah, this is him trying to go inside, outside, and puts that ball a little bit too far forward. Yeah, you can't stop your momentum, and I think he saw what he was doing. Sometimes you just wonder what's on the other side of that wall when you're coming back down is sometimes the problem, but he's good. He gets right back up. Good for Darnell King as he gets to start again tonight, coming in for Kyle Porter back at his right back position. He had another good play earlier in the game where there's a through ball that you saw in the highlights by Joe Cole, and he tried to set it into the box. So created a little bit on that right side again tonight too, Mike.
A little clumsy moment over the This TV Tampa Bay sign, and of course our thanks to those watching on Estrella TV as well. You can get a good look at the schedule. The Rowdies hitting the road here, 3 of the next 4, including next week, which is going to be probably a tough one. The next couple really critical games for the team.
Yeah, Ottawa Fury tying Charleston Battery in Charleston tonight, so then you go back up into Ottawa. You're playing on field turf again, so it's a difficult one. You go Louisville, who coming into this weekend is top of the table, so that's going to be a tough one here back at home. It does not get any easier for the Rowdies, and then 2 more on the road.
And again, sandwiched in there maybe a U.S. Open Cup game as well, so we'll give you more on that. Let's get a good look at those standings right now here. With that win, Charleston did get the draw, and the goal differential right now is the only difference here, Lee, when you look at that.
Yeah, 13 points. They needed that, so that really helps after that 3-game span without a victory to get 3 more points and get back up there. They have played 7 games, though, when you look at the Batteries is 6. Orlando City B playing 8 already. So a lot of teams like the Rochester Rhinos only on 5 games so far. So there's 6 points in the balance right there. So it is going to be very, very tight in this table. But as long as the Rowdies, you see that yellow line, the top 8 going to the playoffs, and right now they're sitting in a good spot early.
There you go, and the Richmond Kickers sitting in 12th after tonight as well. Rowdies get a 1-0 victory tonight. We will come back. More on the postgame show coming up. You're watching Tampa Bay Rowdies Soccer on This TV, Tampa Bay.
We've got the sun. We've got today. We've got the sun. Jumping. Got it right through the night. Got it dialed in. It's just you and me in a perfect day.
Sundial, the place to shop and dine in downtown St. Petersburg. The new locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg. More than a market. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here or take it home. Fresh-made sushi, Pan-Asian dishes, mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, specialty drinks, and decadent desserts. Lunch hour or happy hour. Enjoy it here or take it home. More than a market. Come and taste locale at Sundial in St. Petersburg.
There's never been a better time to get rowdy. For a limited time, you can get 3 games for only $33 with the Rowdies Hat-Trick Pack. Call 727-222-2000 or go to Ticketmaster.com/Rowdies right now and get 3 games for just $33. And see the Rowdies destroy the competition. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. And the Hat-Trick Pack is only available for a limited time. Come on, you Rowdies!
Welcome back to our post-game show here on This TV Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Rowdies coming out with the 1-0 victory over the Richmond Kickers. I'm Heather Donnelly, joined by Rowdies goalkeeper Matt Pickens. And it was a pretty easy night for Matt. You didn't have to do a whole lot tonight. What was it like out there for you?
No, I mean, like you said, it was one of those games where anything can happen at any moment. But tonight we held a lot of possession, and I feel like in this league there's going to be a lot of games like this where you just got to keep full concentration the full 90 minutes. Find ways to break down teams and find ways to score goals any way we can, and whether it's individual brilliance, 1v1, or just good passing ability, we got to find ways to score goals. So we did that tonight, and we kept them off the board, and that was the goal from the beginning. So we're happy.
All right, thanks, Matt. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Heather. And as a matter of fact, I think Heather Donnelly is as close as anyone got to Matt Pickens all night.
Yeah, but he talked about that. I think this is about grinding one out, because he just said it, that they were in it the whole game, Richmond was. So you have to keep your mental preparation for this game. You got to be on the entire one, because you had no idea when Richmond was going to come down on the counterattack and get that one shot and possibly finish on that one goal. So he put it perfectly. It's about grinding out and getting goals any way that you can get them in this league to be able to earn 3 points.
Well, and that was the critical part the Rowdies were able to get tonight, because it was a game here that you knew Richmond was going to pack in. Matter of fact, through their 6 games, only 3 goals scored, but only 5 goals conceded. So very good defensively. The Rowdies were able to find that one break, and that was the difference tonight.
Yeah, it was. And I think it just gives a little bit of confidence going into the next few games because of the road trip. Once again, they're going to want to be a little more successful this time on the road than they were the last time that they did.
And, of course, the Rowdies hit the road next week against Ottawa, but they'll be back here in 2 weeks. Al Lang Stadium coverage starts at 7 o'clock. Digital 32.2, Frontier 463, Spectrum 630, Comcast 229. It's This TV Tampa Bay. And, of course, we get a good chance for Lee Godfrey and for Heather Donnelly working hard. I'm Mike Pepper. If you missed any of it, watch the match here right now in 5.
Feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
Some people are blessed. Compassion and empathy are second nature. Being selfless increases their self-worth. They consider caring for others a calling, not a sacrifice. And we consider them our role models. Because if humanity can make the world a better place, imagine what it can do for healthcare.
There's never been a better time to get rowdy. For a limited time, you can get 3 games for only $33 with the Rowdies Hat-Trick Pack. Call 727-222-2000 or go to Ticketmaster.com/Rowdies right now and get 3 games for just $33. And see the Rowdies destroy the competition. This is your town. The Rowdies are your team. And the Hat-Trick Pack is only available for a limited time. Come on, you Rowdies!